Hello and welcome back to the live stream. Today I'm talking about, that's right, I'm talking about real estate in part 3 of my series. Today I'm going to be giving you keywords and notes on how to, not notes, but I'll be giving you keywords on how to sell a property and serving God at the same time. Okay, so welcome to the show. No mai haere mai kiko nei, kia ora koutou katoa. Welcome to the studio today. My name is Lord Bard, private real estate agent. Welcome to the live stream. Thank you for showing up today. We have 18 people on the stream. They're they're on Facebook. Welcome, guys. Thank you for coming to my show. So I'm going to be showing you 5 steps. We have, Jonathan's in here. Hi, Jonathan. Welcome to the live stream. Thanks for coming. We have quite a few people in here tonight, so it's going to be great. I'm really sure you're going to go away learning how to sell real estate without a license. Again, in my last video, I covered that you have to be covered in these things. So yeah, so welcome to the live stream. Is that coming up on messages coming up on my screen? I can hear it in my earpiece. So yeah, so welcome to the live stream. It's great to have you today. This horrible. Can we get it off, please? Thank you. Sorry about that, people. Technology, what do you do with it, eh? Hey. Right, so let's get into it. The first thing I'm going to teach you is how to can we just straighten the camera, please? Thank you. The first thing I'm going to teach you is how to be a real estate agent, making a passive income, but you're also going to be serving God. Same thing. Right? So don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. In the comments, ask me questions about real estate. Ask me questions. Bring the sensible questions in, because next week I'm going to set up a phone number where you guys can ring into my show. But right now, I want you guys to get a pen and paper ready. Have a pen and paper handy, or a pad. You might want to get a book, pack and save, or just get a pad and paper, because I'm going to tell you to write down these notes. So yeah, let's hop into it. All right, so, hang on. Matthew just said to me, we've got a question from a Paul Lowe from Auckland asking me, do I need to spend money on buying a place? Do I have to invest in a place? Do I have to go through a lawyer to invest in a place? No, you don't. You have to go through a lawyer. Like I said in the last video, I can't stress this enough, guys. You need to cover yourself. Go to a real estate lawyer. I mean, there is some in New Zealand, Palmerston, all over the countryside. There's lawyers that deal with property. Make sure that you've got a contract. That'll cover you. Then you have to use these keywords that I'm gonna write down here right now. I'm gonna put the camera on that in a minute. I'm gonna write a few things on the whiteboard. So I'm gonna bring my whiteboard up. So you're gonna see my whiteboard for a minute. So let's just put the camera on the whiteboard so you can see that's the whiteboard here. So let's put up here let's put up here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you got your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 keywords that I'm going to give to you. Okay. Now these have to line up with what I'm teaching you today. So there's going to be 5. Thanks. Number one is invest. Invest in property. Invest in 3 units. Invest in 3 units. Number 2, no loans. Or mortgage. No loans. Oops. Not really. Right. No loans. Sorry. Whoop. Just cross that out. No loans. Oops. Just cross that all out. Hang on. No loans. No mortgage. No loans. No mortgage. No. Yeah, so we got no loans. Number 3. Number 3. Contract. Contract. So invest in 3 units, no loans, contracted. Out. The 4th one. Now the 4th one is these here, all important that when you're investing in something. Investment 3 units, yes, 3 or 4, it could be 5 units. So no loans, because you don't want to have a debt. Contract. Okay, you have a contract that people have to sign. You have a copy of a contract, and people have to sign it. Number 4. Now, number 4 is really important. So watch this. Number 4, lease. Why is it so important to lease? Use the lease option. Why is it so important to use the lease option? Why is it so important that you've got your lease option? Well, because that building belongs to you, and you're going to number 5, rent. Rent to own. Rent to own. Rent to own. Excuse my hand. For sale. That's important. So, number 1, invest 3 units, no loans, contracted, lease option, rent to own, for sale. So why is it so important to invest 3 units, no loans, contract, lease options, rent to own, for sale? Because it's very important that you have number 6, no mortgage. Number 6 is really important. Listen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 keywords that are going to help you to invest in 3 units. Why do I say units, not houses? I deal with houses because they're going to make me money. No loans, contract the house, lease options, because you're owning the building of someone else. Don't use number 6. Do not use your own money. Number 6. Do not use your own money. Why don't you use your own money? People ask me, why don't you use your own money? Use other people's money. Use other people's money, because when you do the leased option, you're renting to own the property. You don't have to necessarily be in the. Now, I made a faux pas on my part in doing this. I got a property, for instance, I got a property the other day, right? And it cost $1,400,000, right? $1,400,000. I put a down payment of $1,300 onto it. Right, so that's 13. That makes it 13,000. $13,000 for it, right? And so in doing that, what did it and so you say to me, what did it do for me? So what did it do for me? So what I did was I took out a loan for it at $14,000, and at $14,000 I put down towards the house to invest in it, and I made a faux pas. And what happened was, in that faux pas, I did not put a contract towards it, and so lots of things happened to that building, and I just had to let it go. I just had to rent it out because I just made a mistake. I didn't think of those steps that I'm teaching here today. And so I put that in place. So I recalculated it, went back, did it again, and sold it. Now, the thing is with that is I had to change a lot of revenues. I had to change the revenue. Put $15,000 on it. Put $15,000 on that. It sold for $660,000. I made revenue off that because I knew that I had to base it off the contract. So when I did up a contract for the people that were living in it, they decided to buy it straight up in cash. So I got cash for that building. So don't ever make that mistake. If you find yourself in that mistake, go back and get the contract again. Say, sorry, you need to sign this contract. Every single buyer have to sign your contract. You're not RJ Hooker, you're not Ray White, you're just a private dealer like me. You're a private real estate agent, sorry, like myself. I'm a private real estate agent. I don't work for any companies. I burnt my license. I don't need it because I'm doing properties on selling properties for people. Now you say, oh, but why? For example, I'm just going to write this on the board to show you guys. For example, let me just put you back towards the board again. Oh, look, it's still. God, this whiteboard is not good. Yeah, just wipe this off. The freaking whiteboard. See, so it's still leaving its mark on there. That's all right. All right, let's say there's a property for sale, right? I'll just write this down. Let's say there's a property for sale, right? And it's worth 40,000, right? And I put down 15. I put down 1,500. Right? I put down 1,500 on it. Right? COC. Why is it COC? Cash on cash. Cash on cash. COC is cash on cash. All right, let's just add that up real quick. Let's just add that up. So let's just add that up. That's going to be, let's go. the unit, it's a 7-bedroom unit, and it's $40,000. Another zero on it. It's a $14,000 home, right? It's 5 bedrooms. Sorry, it's 5 bedrooms. I put down 15,000 on it. So let's go 40. Let's go. Hang on, let's go 40. So 40,000. So we put down times. Sorry, let's do it again. So 40,000. Let's go. Sorry, I'm doing it off camera so you guys can't see me. Let's go 40,000. Right. Oh, sorry, that's 4,000. Shit. The property mic. So we go 14.00. So 14,000. So we put 15 down. 15,000. Put 15,000 down. Sorry, I'm not timing the shit. So again, 40,000. Sorry. No, oh God. 40,000 times that by 15. So we go 15,000. Oh shit. So we go 15,000 equals. So I've just made a revenue of $600,000. Cash on cash. I've just made $60,000 off that home. I put down 15. Cash on cash. Cash on cash. So I go 14 plus 15 is $60,000. So I've got an income coming in. Yeah, that's monthly. And this is what it comes to. Can we just get a shot of that on the camera, please? Let's just put this up here. Okay. Can we get a shot of that on the camera? So there it is. I paid 15. I put down 1,500, and the paid rent over a monthly. I charged 15, so 14, 15, 1,600. So I made $1,600 revenue coming in. I've got $1,600 revenue coming in. I've got $1,600 revenue coming in. That's coming in. So that's $1,600 coming in the revenue. On the revenue that's coming in. So that's the revenue that's coming in, right? You say, well, what? You say, what is all this coming in? Okay. Now, whether or not the property value is important, because if I'm paying my 1,500 on, put 1,500 down, I'm making sure that I'm getting cash on cash. It always has to be cash on cash, because if it's not cash on cash, then you're just, your house is just sitting there and you're not making money off it. I don't like to stay in houses very long, okay? Because I'm paying myself rent in that house, right? If I rent a house out to somebody, I got to make sure they abide by the contract. No damages, no smoking, no drinking, no drugs in my house. We call that the cardinal rule. We call it a rule, right? We call it the rule. In the contract that you're leasing out the house to someone renting it, you got to be in the house when they're renting it, because you're making sure that they up with their payments. Because it's called cash on cash. Remember that keyword that I gave you before, which was rent to sell? Rent to own for sale. They're renting it out. You're charging them $1,500 for the place property. Charging them $15. Don't charge them the ridiculous fee of. Don't charge them $1,400. Okay, be realistic with your deals, because when you're dealing with a property, you got to make sure that you're not ripping that person off. You got to make sure that that person's happy paying rent. Don't put your rent up unless you've done something on the property. Like if you have, for instance, installed a new roof, furnished the kitchen, brand new kitchen, you finished the ovens, you put new windows on it. Okay, you've got a Mitsubishi gas heating unit in it. Okay, then you start charging them more. Say, okay, let me just put the figure here. Say I bought a 3-bedroom house. 3-bedroom room. Say I bought a 3-bedroom house. 3-bedroom house. Right? Say I bought a 3-bedroom house, right? You see that? Say I bought a 3-bedroom house, right? And it cost me 17 grand. Right? It cost me 17 grand, and I'm charging let's say I'm charging 15 grand on the house, and I did maintenance and it came up to 15. So all up, let's add that up now. Let's go. So it's 17, right? Hang on a minute, let me just add this up. Let's go. Say I bought the house for 15. Say I bought another house for 14 grand. So that's 14 grand. And so let's go 14 grand. Yeah, let's go 14 grand. Let's minus it with 17. Let's minus that by, let's go 17,000. That's 17,000. And the people we're getting revenue of 15,000. So we got a revenue of 15,000. So we got a revenue of 15,000 coming through, and that. So all up, cash on cash, right? Cash on cash is $1,645. Cash on cash. I can double my money if I add another 16 grand. Say I add another 16 grand on that, right? I add another 16 grand on that. All right. So let's go. Let's plus it. Let's times that by 16 grand. So let's go 16 grand. So I've just equals. So we've got. So I've just made. All up, I've made 26 grand. So that's 26,320. So all up, that's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So I've doubled my money. Cash on cash. Cash on can. No money. No loans. No mortgage. So a COC. So all up, I've doubled the rent by 16,000 because I paid for the roof, I paid for the new windows, new oven, new floors, carpets. So that all comes up to 26. Cash on cash. I've made cash off other people. You say, are you ripping people off? No, I'm not. You put your price of your rent. Okay, so for instance, you put your price for your rent, okay, to what you've paid for it. So if you do anything new on your property, you've got to make sure that your property has repaired before you put it on the market. Don't put a property on market. So you don't put a property on your market if you've not put some time and money into it. I put $1,000 on my houses, right? And I've made quite a fortune. You say, but why are you charging more the rent? Like I said, property maintenance. The more you've put in, you look after your property like you're looking after your little kid. You're a parent, you should know. You're looking after your children, right? Look after your properties. Each property that you buy, make sure it's repaired done on it. Make sure it's painted. Make sure your property is ready to sell in the market. Because once you've done that, you can charge them more than rent. Most of the units that I get, I sell them for 15 or 14 grand. Some real estate agents don't tell you this. 380 for properties, right? They're charging 380 for properties, right? I'm charging less than what they're charging because people are looking for a good deal. So number one, you're dealing with a customer, is a good deal. Write it down. You pin down. Number one, a good deal. So number one, you see that? Number one, a good deal, right? Number one, a good deal. So you do a good deal for your customers. Number two, okay, contract. This is another one. Contract your place. You have to contract your place. Number two, contract your place. Every property that you're renting out, rent to own to sell, make sure you've got your contract. Because like I said in my first video, your contracts keep you safe. Your contracts guarantee customer satisfaction because you're not charging 385. I mean, not 385. You're not charging 380 grand for the property. You're charging 15 grand on your property each month. They've got to pay you 58 grand on your property. You're going to make cash on cash. Other people pay for your property because you're doing number three, the lease option again. Again, that word again says lease option. Lease option. Again, you're doing the lease option. Why are you doing the number? So you got number one, a good deal, contract in place. See that? Number one, good deal. Number two, contract. Number three, lease option. Every building that you buy has to be a lease option. Because that way you can charge them 15 grand a month or 16 grand a month, depending on the property that you buy. It always depends on the property that you're buying. Because, let me tell you why. When you buy a property, you've got to make sure that you're not paying for it. you've got to make sure that the property pays for itself. You've got the person in there renting your property, okay? Say your property is 15 grand. Say I bought a property for 15 grand, right? And I only put down, 15 grand, right? I put down 15 grand, right? I put down 50 grand for it, and then I charge. So I put down. So let's see. So it was 50 grand. I bought the property for. So the property is 50 grand, right? So the property 50 grand, and it's a luxury apartment. It's an apartment building that I bought for 50 grand. Right? I put 15 grand down on the property. So we go 5. So we go 6. Okay, so see this. Got the property for 15 grand. Right? I got the property for 15 grand. Can you see that? Sorry. Can you guys see that? So I put the property for 15 grand. Right? And I put down, 50 grand. $50,000, right? And I put down, how much is that? 15 grand on it, right? And there it is. It's how much I've made out of the property. Again, I'll show you guys camera. Go over there. So again, I show you cash on cash. That's another property. Cash on cash. It's 50 grand, right? I put 15 grand down. I did the lease option and got it 65. I'm getting 65,000 for the property. I got 50 grand. I put 15 down. I rent a sale. I got 65,000 out of that unit. So, but why is it so? Why is it paying for itself? Because remember, like I said, COC, cash on cash. You always got to make sure when you do a deal, it's a cash on cash situation. Now, Grant says this. Grant Cardone, one of those two, taught us that when we're investing in a property, we always got to make sure it's cash on cash. Because if it's not cash on cash, then you made a dumb deal. Then your deal's dumb. Why is your deal dumb? Because you're not thinking it through. Every deal, right? Every single deal that you do on the property, on your properties, it's got to be cash on cash, so it pays for itself, pretty much. Are you using other people's money? Yes, you are using other people's money. But you've got to make sure that the art of the deal is most important. Because when you are cash on cash, people are paying your property for you because you put it under rent to sell. Rent to own for sale sign. Rent to own, that's your first sign. Your second sign has to be for sale. So on the outside, you got rent to own and for sale sign. At the house, you might have rent to own. Rent to own at the house. Make sure you're at the front of the property. If it's a fence up, it doesn't matter. You put it by the fence on that side. People are going to go past, but you've got to make sure too. Another thing is number 7. Number 7. Open home. All right. Number 8. So on number 8, so you got open home. Number 8, deal. Number 9, contract again. Why do you keep saying contract? It's important that you show the customer when you take them to an open home, you give them your number. Your number sells the product. Your number, they get in contact with you and say they might want to buy it. Somebody could be driving past looking for a house. They could be moving from Coromandel. They could be moving from Auckland. They could be moving from Wellington. They could be moving from Palmerston North. You've got to make sure that on your sign you have open home. Your sign is rent to own. Rent to own. For sale sign. So what is it? Number 7. Open home on your house when you've fixed it. Right? Number 8. The deal. Do a deal with your customer. Make sure that the customer. Make sure you got your contract on hand. And make sure your sign has. Make sure your sign has your number on it. You can't sell a property without just your name on it. Because it's going to confuse somebody. Somebody's trying to buy a house, and they're going to find. They want to find the person selling it. You're the landlord, not the landlord. You're the agent who's selling the house, right? You're the agent because you're trying to make money, and you're trying to get somebody somewhere to live. Their situation is they couldn't pay their rent because their rent was too high. Because they're paying $38 each week, but you're giving them a good deal. It's the art of the deal, I call it. Art of the deal. Why is it that you say, why is it the art of the deal? Why is it called the art of the deal? Why are you calling it art of the deal? Why is it called art of the deal? Because you are selling your house, or you're renting your house. You're renting to own. Rent to own. It's the lease options. With your lease option again, no credit. We're going to say no credit. We're going to put here no credit. No credit. No loan. And no. Okay, so no rent, no loan, no mortgage. Mortgage. That's the most important part when you sell a property. Look at this. All right. No rent. Oh, sorry. No. Oh, I got it right. Yeah. What's that? No loan. No credit. Sorry. No credit. No loan. No mortgage. Or your properties need to be like that. Okay. You've got no credit on the property, no loans, no mortgages. Why is it important not to have that? Because, like I said again, it's the COC thing again. Cash on cash. You want to make a steady income. You do what I'm saying right now, because it's going to help you. Say, oh, but what if this happens and what if that happens? Your contract keeps you safe, because they could say, oh, broken window. Their children could have broke the window, and they could have blamed you not for the repairs. But you said no. But in your contract, it says you're charging them 15 or 16 grand. You're charging them 15 grand or 14 grand. Let's say I'm charging Miss Reynolds for a minute. Miss Reynolds comes to the property. She's a nurse. She's working at the hospital. She's paying 15 grand a month for her rent. Again, so she's paying. Say you paid for it, it's 14 grand. Right? You bought it for 14, it's 40 grand you bought for. And you're charging her, and let's say you're charging her, let's say 14 grand. So you're charging her 14 grand. So that's 4 and 1 is 4 and 1. So what's 4 and 1? So you think to yourself, okay, 4 and 1. 4 and 1 is what? What's 4 and 1, guys? Come on. Let's figure it out together. Figure that out together. Don't use a calculator in your head. I paid 1,400,000. I'm sorry. I paid 14 grand, right, for the property. For say it's a, let's say it's a 7 units, right? And she's paying 14 grand. So I bought it for 40, right? 1,400,000. I bought it for 1,400,000, right? Just say, this is just me saying, okay? This is me just adding it up for you. So you go, 4 ones are what? Add that up. Let's just add that up for a minute, shall we? Let's just add that up for a minute. Okay, so we're going to go, so I got it for 40 grand. Right? Times it by 14,000. So I paid 40,000 for it, right? I'm charging the nurse. I'm charging the nurse 14,000. Right? Oh shucks. Let's check if that's right. So we got it for 14. Hang on, let's just set this up here. I'm making lots of mistakes today. I'm tired. So I did 14,000 for that. But we times it by 14 grand. No, hang on, this isn't right. Shit. 14,000. Ah, sorry, 1 sec, guys. Okay, that does not look right. So we go 14. So there we go. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. On that property, we've made. So we go 4. So we go 4. That's 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's 5, 6, 7, 8. So 1 is 8. So that's 8, right? That's 8, right? And so we got. So we got for 84. So all up, that rent adds up to about. So all up, she's paid me cash on cash. Let's go 4 is 8. So 4, what are 4s? So 4, 1 is 8, right? 4 and 1 is 8. That's 84 dollars. 84 dollars. So that's 4. That's 4. 84,000. Cash on cash. Why do I say cash on cash? It's very important to have. How come I keep saying cash on cash? Because it is. It's cash on cash. So you're making cash on cash. Okay. So you're making cash on cash for this is the amount that your cash you're going to have sitting in your pocket. Sitting in your pocket. Now don't spend that money because each time your rent comes out, it's paid into your specified bank account. I'm going to put it in my personal account. I don't put it in my personal account because I'm too busy. I'm a real estate agent. I'm a private realty doing deals, getting deals, making money off other people. But you say, I'm not begging. It's not begging. It's more you are a private real estate agent. You are doing it privately because you have a contract that your contract covers what you're doing, what you're selling, right? Just like you need a contract if you're a truck driver. If you're a truck driver, right, and you're driving a truck, and you're contracting yourself out there. You're contracting yourself out there to make money, aren't you? Right? You're a truck driver. Say you're a truck driver. You're driving a truck, right? Your own truck. You have to pay for the cost of repairs, petrol, everything. Diesel, not petrol, sorry, diesel. You're paying for the diesel, So you need to make sure that every time that you have the truck, you're operating your own business. You're operating your truck out of your truck. You're not in the office. Of course, you're going to find the products to make your money while you're driving trucks. You find your loads, you're loading your loads up and all that. I used to be a truck driver, so I know what I'm talking about. I got out of truck driving because I wanted to do this. Sell houses, sell houses, sell houses, sell, 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 sell. No money, no mortgage, and plus no loans, no credit. Make sure you got no credit. Every single house you have, don't have a debt on it. Don't go to the banks. Right. Right. Let me put this in this. Let me explain to you how this works. So, no bank, no loans, no mortgage. That's called the three no's. The 3 no's rule. So we're going to call it the 3 no rules. Why is it called the 3 no rules? Again, no banks, no loans, no mortgages, and no credits. Every property that you have needs to not have credit. No debt. No debt. It's called a no debt situation. No debt situation. Why is it a no debt situation? Because you want to always be in credit. You want to always be in credit with the businesses that you do. A good friend of mine, all right, his name is Grant. Grant, multi-property millionaire. The one guy, he always says he has a show, you want to check him out on YouTube. His name is Grant Cardine. Cardine or something, Cardine. Grant Cardine. I watch him every night. Every single night. I'm not going to bed till about 3:30 in the morning because I'm watching every single show that he does. It may not be live streaming now, but I'm watching every single show that he does because he talks about real estate. I said, this guy's got it. This guy is traveling around the world telling people how to make money, how to become multi-millionaire real estate agents. Now listen, some people say, "Oh, he's exposed because he's ripping people." He's not ripping people off. He's doing deals with people. He's getting people in houses. He's doing the COC situation like I am here in New Zealand. I'm doing this in New Zealand. Why am I doing this? Cash on cash. Every single, listen to me, look at me, listen to me. Every single property that he's got over there in Florida, for instance, or Miami, Florida area. Every single place, every single apartment that he's got, whether it's 4 units, 5 units, he's always having cash. Like he said, the property pays for himself. Now, I watched one of his shows this morning before my live stream. Right? Grant helps people. Some of the people who are going on the show are asking some stupid questions. All they need to do is listen to what he is saying because he's teaching how to buy your first real estate. A guy, I'm not going to mention his name just due to because Grant's doing his business. That's his way. That's his way of teaching people. I'm not going to thing him, but I am going to share this with you. Grant knows real estate. He's been doing it for a lot longer than what I've been doing it. He is smart because he's using cash on cash 10 times over. If I was to ring him, right, and I ask him a question, and I'll say to him, Grant, I've got this property for $1,400,000. I say $40,000. $40,000. Can I put 15? Say this is I'm asking. This is me asking a question because I'm new, but I'm not really new because I've been doing this for 7 years. But anyway, I say to him, I put down 15 grand on the house property, right? How much will I charge that person? Well, Grant will answer the question for me. He'll say, is that a house? Or I'll say it's a house. He said, don't buy it. He always says, don't buy it. Me, I say, yeah, buy it. Buy it, but make sure that you're only putting a down payment to it. Not down payment, but say the house is $380. Like I said, some real estate fucking agents do this. They go $380 for the building, right? And I say to them, okay, I'm going to put down, say it's $380. I don't want to pay the full $380. I'm going to put 15 down, right? I'm going to ring Grant and go, Grant, do you want to buy this property? I'll go, Grant, can you help me, please? I've got a property that's $380. It's in New Zealand here. I'm putting down 50 grand on that property. So we go what's three? That's so that's two. So we go three. So we got three. Okay, so it's three. So it's 4, 5, 6. 3, 6. 3 minus 6. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's 4. So I've got a steady income here. Look, this is 380, right? Say this is New Zealand property. This is in Grey Street. Just pretend this. This is very important. I'm showing you examples. This is 380,000. I put 15,000 down. I put me 50,000 down, right? So we go 3 is so 3 and 1 is 4, right? Property is 4, 8 and 5. So now we add 8 and 5. What's 8 and 5? Okay. You ask me what's 8 and 5. Okay, what's 8 and 5? What's 8 and 5? Sorry, I'm looking at the wrong place. I'm looking over there. I've got to look at you. What's 85? So what's 85? So I put 15 down. Right? That's 3. 1 and 3 is 4. 8 and 5 is what? What's 8 and 5? Come on, help me do the math here. Help me do the math here with me. Follow me as I do this. I want you to learn this. So watch and listen, please. Okay? So 8 and 5. So we go, let's see, 8 and 5. Don't use a calculator. Calculate in your head. If you're using the calculator, you're cheating. Do not cheat with a calculator because I'm trying to teach you this way in your head. Keep doing it in your head over and over and over like I do. I do it in my head. I don't use a calculator because you can't be standing there at the customer and you've got a calculator adding it up every time. Well, I'm trying to show you some examples here. So anyway, I say to Grant, okay, I've got it's a $38,000. It's a apartment building. It's the middle part of the building, not the whole apartment floor, but the middle part of the building. They're charging $38,000 for that. So I put 15 down. I put 15 grand down on it, right? So that's 3 and 4, 8 and 5. What's 8 and 5? So we go 8 and 5. 8. 13. So 85. So let's do the okay. Let's do it all in one step, say, because you can't think because your brain's not working. I'll use my brain for you. Okay, so $38,000. I've got a place for $38,000. I put 15 grand down, right? 3 and 1 is 4. 8 and 5. 8 plus 5. 13. So we go 4. So 3 is 4. 13. So I've just made 30,000. So I've made 14. So 3, 8, 3. I put 50 grand down. So I've got a cash on cash. That's so we've got 413,000 cash on cash. I said I put 15 down. I've made 13,000. So I've made 413,000. So I've made $413,000 off that property. It's a middle apartment building. It's a middle apartment building, right? It's a middle apartment. What will Grant say in that? Grant will say that I'm earning 1430 cash on cash. Not my own cash. That cash is coming in the building paying for itself because I've rented it out. Right, so I've rented it out at say the nurse is paying me. So we've rented it out, right? So we've rented it out let's just add another. So let's just add another number here. So we go. And the nurse wants to pay. She wants to pay 80,000 in rent because it's refurbished. It's got everything there for her. Her bed, brand new. It's refurbished. Everything's there. Everything's done. Everything's done because I like to refurbish my places. I like to make sure there's a bed. There's a bed. There's a lounge suite. There's a TV. Everything's all set up for them. It's all refurbished. I'm charging 15 grand. 3 and 4 is 4. What's 3 and 1 for? Do the math. Again, I say do the math in your head. Don't use a calculator. Right, so 3 is 4, 8 and 5 is 13. So I've made 13,000. 13,000. So I made 13,000. Cash on cash. Pays for itself. Pretty much. Right? I put 50 grand down. I've made another 13 grand. I've made another 13 grand on top of that house. And that's monthly. Grant will say, well done. You learned. Grant will say to me, well, that's a good deal. Why is that a good deal? Again, no credit, no loans, no mortgage on the property. So like I said, do the math. If you don't know how to do the math, then you need to go back to my first video. You need to go back to this video that I'm doing now. You need to do it. Because it's going to show you how to make a positive income without stealing from people or without jinxing people. Why do I say jinxing people? You don't want to rip them off, okay? You want your customers to be happy. Hey, refurbish your apartments. That's what I do. Why am I starting off at homes? Why am I doing homes? People ask me, why am I doing homes? I'm finding people places. People come to me and they ask me every day, have you got a place for me? I say, sorry, no, I've sold all my properties, but I'm going to go and look. On Monday, because today is Friday, I'm doing videos on Fridays. On Fridays, I leave Fridays to do videos. Okay? Why do I sell houses during the week? I need to make a positive income because where I'm staying is it's $285 a week. That's shocking. But I need a place to stay and run my business. You got to make sure the place that you're renting out. Yes, I'm renting out a building. Why are you renting it? Why are you paying rent? Because that's my home base. That's where I'm going to operate my business, my private business. What's my real estate? Okay, Boyd Real Estates. Okay, my name is Lord Bard. I'm not going to tell you my real name because I'm not allowed to disclose that information online on YouTube. Okay, so let's just call me Lord Bard. I can't tell you what my real name is because due to security reasons. Okay, this video won't be deleted either. So that is why you had to earn cash on cash. If you've got no credit for the place, you're okay because you're doing well because you've got the concept. At the first beginning of this video, what was the, remember, go back to your first pen, look at the first paper. All those keywords that I've given you, all right, I'm not going to say it again because I already said it once, I don't say it twice. All right, invest, right? Contract. Okay. The most important thing when you're selling a house, I always say this to my videos, is you make sure you got a contract because your contract helps you to do this business. Nobody's going to say to you, oh, but you can't do this, it's illegal. So, no, I've got a contract. You show them the contract, then they leave you alone because they see that you're doing the rent-to-own thing. Don't go around telling your friends that. Tell them to look at my video because I teach them properly. Then maybe when you've done it, you can teach the next person. I'm doing a chain reaction, right? I'm spreading the news 500, over 500. Stay tuned. Right, coming back up to the break, I'm going to be teaching you how to market. After the break, I'm going to be teaching you how to do the marketing. Thank you for watching this video. Make sure you like and subscribe. Ask your questions on my video. You can talk down the chat. The chat's on all the time. I'm leaving this video on. I'm leaving my live stream on. You're gonna see a blank back. You're gonna see a blank back door. But Matthew's gonna stick on some music. Matthew's gonna stick on a music video. All right, Matthew's gonna stick on some music videos. I'm gonna take a break. And I'll be back with you soon. I'm Lord Bard. I'm Lord Bard, and this is I'm Lord Bard, and this is how I'm giving you a workshop on how to do properties, how to buy properties in New Zealand, real estate. Be back with me shortly. Here's two cellos. Matthew's putting on for you a music video called "The Two Cellos of Game of Thrones" from the City Opera House, live from the City Opera House here at Red. We'll see you back after the break, right after this. Thank you, Matthew.
So go like that and let go.
Welcome back. Thank you for joining us. That was the Cello Game of Thrones theme song. It's good to have you back. Welcome back to the show. So in my first video here today, I've told you I've told you 6 keywords, okay, on how to get a property. Now, in the second part, I gave you examples of how much things cost here in New Zealand. I gave you examples for the nurse, for example. I paid 15,000, and I got, how much did I get out of that? So I got out quite a bit for that, didn't I? So I got 13,000. 430,000 for that building. Remember, it's all in the cash on cash. Yeah. Do you have any questions? Matthew? Have you got any questions in there? In Twitter? Okay. All right. So we've got a question from Harvey Smith from Wanganui. Was it Wanganui? Wanganui, sorry. Harvey Smith from Wanganui asked me. So he bought a property for, let's say, he said 40,000. People got the idea. 40,000. Right? And he paid $1,000. He paid $1,000 for maintenance. 1,800 for the maintenance. And he's now renting it out for. Let's say, he said 17. Did he say 70,000, Matthew? $70,000. How much revenue is he going to make out of that? He bought it for 40,000. He spent 1,800 on it to repair it. He put the rent up to 70,000. How much commission? How much is he getting cash on for that, Missy? Okay. Okay, so we go. It cost him 40,000. Added up, did the maths. I don't do maths on calculator. I just added it in my head as I go. So he says he spent 40 on the property. So we got a 40,000. He made 40,000 off the property. They made 40. Oh crap! Let's see. I'm just add this up on this. Ah crap! What did they owe? $40,000. So we got a point. Let's see what we got. And he spent out of that 40,000. He spent minus 1,000. So we're going to minus that by 1,800. He paid to fix the property up because he had a lot of. So what was it? 1,800. And he put the rent up for 17 grand. And he put the rent up for, so, for 17 grand. Let's say 70 grand. Let's take the dot out, let's go 70 grand. Let's take the dot out, sorry. 70 grand. So he's made 15. So he's made about, because he put 1,000 on the property, we'll talk about 1,800. he made he put it up for 70 grand. So all up, his cash revenue is 15. So hang on, let's do the math. Again, do the math. So go 14 minus 1,800 he spent on the house. He put up for 70 grand, so he's getting out of that 70. He put the rent up 70 grand. Out of that 70 grand, it's 15,200 and what is it? 200 and let's go 2, 4. Okay, so he's made out of that property. Oops, I made a mistake here. So out of it, he's making 50 grand. Cash on, COC, cash on. He's making. Let's say he's making about roughly. Oopsie. Okay, roughly he's making about $15,000. Roughly there's 15,000 there. So roughly he's made about out of that 1,000. He's out of that $17,000. Right? He's making 15,000. So out of that deal, he spent 1,800 on the building, which is stupid, but that's just the way he did it. $1,000 and $800. So he out of pocket, right? He paid 17 deposit on it, and so he's making 15,000 monthly, right? Out of the 40,000, he spent 1,000, right? And so he's left with $15,240. So he's left with 15,200, right? 200 and what was it? 13. 230. Oh crap. So that's how. Let's add that up. I'm just thinking. So he's made 240. He's made 50 grand. 240,000. $15,248. 40 what? No, sorry. Let's start again. He's making 15,000. So he out of that 17, he's got $15,240,000 on hand. Cash on. So pretty much, he's got people renting it, right? He paid 17. He put 17 grand down. Is that right, Matthew? He put 17,000 grand down. So he put $17,000 for the house, right? He's making. He's charging 15 grand. On top of that, because he deducted out of it 14 grand that he spent on the house, he put $1,000, $800 to repair the whole place because his situation. He didn't explain the situation, but he said his situation. He had to repair the whole house, and that cost him $1,800 to repair the whole place due to fire damage, apparently. So, cash on cash. He's renting it out at 15 grand a month. So that's leaving him with 15 grand. So he's got 15 grand coming in, 240. So he's got 15 grand, 214. So 50 grand, 240 grand he's making a month with that place. He's not selling it. He's renting it out, rent to own, because he's using my workshops to how to do real estate in New Zealand. Now listen, I can't stress this enough. Contract it, because it doesn't make you legal. It just makes you've got a contract for your building because you're leasing. Remember, no loans, no credit. No loans, no mortgage, no credit. No loans, no mortgage, no credit. Every property that you have needs to have no credit. You say, why? Why's that? COC, cash on cash. Now listen, you say, oh, but God said we can't do business. Excuse me, God didn't say that. What does the Bible say? For God so loved the world that you have for only God, so that who shall believe in you will not perish but have eternal life, right? That's what God says in the Bible, right? What you're doing outside of church is making yourself a net worth. So why is it called net worth? So, but why is it called net worth? That's what you're earning. The place is 40,000. He spent like this guy here. He spent 40,000 on the house. Sorry, the house was 40,000. He put 70 grand down, right? He made an income of 14 $14,240. $240. So it's 15,000. Sorry, 15,200. That's 15,250 is getting back. Oh, all right, wrong place. Hold on. Yeah. I'll show you this figure in a minute. Once I just bloody do this. Yeah, that's better. Let's just fix this up. Sorry, it was 240. That was $240. So out of that, he made $15,240, right, on the property because he had the rent to own system. I showed him, and he's a Christian. He goes to church. I don't know. I'm not going to tell you what church he goes to. Okay, but he goes to church. He's a pastor of a church, actually. He's a good friend of mine, a very good friend of mine. He's in the real estate business, and he's a pastor, and he's got to take care of his flock as well. He's got a flock to take care of as well. So his net worth is $15,240, right? So if you have a question about real estate, put it in the chat, and I'm always keeping an eye on my chat every day. Sometimes I'm not live all the time because all the time I do other things because I like to do other things because that's who I am. I'm going to have some study time. But what I'm telling you today will financially get you good, right? So hang on, let's just go onto the internet real quick. I'm going to show you. We'll just turn the camera around for a minute. Excuse me. You still can hear me. Hey, so this is my computer. Hang on, let's just get you. Let's just get the camera down there so you can see what I'm doing. Too close. Okay. Oops. Okay. Let's go. No, we can't do that. Okay, so I'm going to go online. I'm going to show you how to do this. So how am I going to get properties? You have to go to the real estate agents yourself. You can't just walk up to someone and give them your card. How I do it is I go to real estate agents and I ring them up and see if they want to do business. Some of them don't want to do business, like Ray White today. I rang Ray White about this property, and she didn't want to share it. This is how selfish they are in the industry. So okay, so I'm going to bring up a property here that's going to be worth. Let's bring up a property that Grant's got. Let's go to Grant Cardine. Let's go to Grant Cardine. Okay, let's go Grant. Let's go Grant. Let's go Grant. Let's go Grant Cardine. Let's go Grant Cardine Properties. Let's go to Grant Cardine's Properties. Okay, Grant's Properties. So we're going to look at the properties. No, that's not. Grant's Real Estate. Let's go Grant's Real Estate. All right, let's go Grant's Real Estates. So we're going to go on. I'll go on image. I'm just telling you what I'm doing. I can't show you because the camera's being clear. So all the properties breaking deals down. Okay. All the properties that he's owning quite a few properties. He's got quite a few properties that he is owning. Okay, he owns a lot of properties because he's using that same system as I'm using it. Okay, all right. So what I do to look for properties on here? Let's say I'm looking for a property. Right, we go to the real estate page. Okay. We go to Ray White's. We're going to go to Ray White's for instance. Let's go to Ray White's Properties. Let's go to Properties. Ray White's. I always use Ray White. Some of them. Okay, we're going to go to, say I want to invest in Wellington. All right, let's go into Wellington. We're going to use the city. We're going to go into the cities. Okay, what's the best properties I can get Wellington Central? So I'm looking for a 5-bedroom place, right? I'm looking for a 5-bedroom place. All right. Prices. I only want to put 15 grand down, right? Let's search and see what we get for the location. Nothing. All right. Let's go down. Let's go down to about 5 grand. All right. All right. We're going to go here and look at the properties. All right. So let's go to properties, home. Let's go back home and look at the properties that he's got for sale. Right. Let's go to properties. Properties. Let's go. Well, let's go to the residential sales. All right, so we've got a building here for 19,500. That's ridiculous. Okay, I wouldn't buy it. Okay, let's go. Let's go to this $19,500 building. So let's have a look. Let's go. Oh, this is in Queenstown. That's right. Let's go to Queenstown. All right, we're gonna go to. Let's go and have a look at the property. This is lot 29 and 30, Wynnum Preserve Quarry. So we have a look at the property, right? It's 19,500. All right, this property is featuring just on the quarry, nice driveway. The inside's furbished, okay, and it's 19. It's sold by Woolly. It's sold by Woolly and Buzz Smith on 19,500. So that's 19,000. Let's go $500. Right? I offer him out of that 19,500. I offer him, let's say, 20 grand. Not that we'll pay 20 grand. Let's say I offer him 20 grand, right? Just for that property because it's a lot. 20 grand. 20 grand, 500. So I gave him 20 grand for the property. Right? And he takes out the couches. He takes all that because it's not refurbished because he hasn't refurbished it. I refurbish it for, so it's 19 grand. So I paid more for it. Just say for 20 grand. I paid for more for it for 20 grand, right? Let's just say. All right, let's just say I paid. It was 19,500. I paid 20 grand. I paid 20 grand because I refurbished it for 20. I paid 20 grand on it. You say that's a lot of money. You say that's a lot of money. It's going to make me more money. See, right? So it's 19. Hang on, no, let's do this again. I'm doing this wrong. So offer him. So I just pay him. Let's say I pay him 18 grand for it. Not 20. Let's take the 20. Take the 20. No. Let's be more realistic here. Okay, we'll take out the 20 grand. Right. So let's take out the 20 grand. I offer. So it's 19 grand 500. He's selling the place for 19 grand 500. Right. I give him a deal. Remember, I'm not going to pay the 19 grand 500 because it's a lot of money. I'm not paying 500 on it. I'm going to offer him, say, I'm going to offer him. Say, yeah, now let's just say I'm going to offer him 20 grand. I'm going to just offer him 20 grand for it. Okay? 20 grand. And I refurbished the place. Say I paid about, I only paid about 1,400 to renovate it. No, 1,400 to refurbish it, sorry. To refurbish it. What do you mean refurbish it? I put in a flash new TV, put in the couches, throw in the couches and everything, right? Say I put 40 grand into it. 40 grand, $700 into it, right? I put the rent because it's 40. I put 14 grand into the property, 700. Once I buy the property off him for 20 grand, I put 14 out of that 20 grand that I gave the guy. Right, I spent 14 to refurbish it, make sure it's got all the needs for a customer. I'm going to rent it out for So we go, so it's 19 grand minus by 20 grand. So we're adding on, we're not subtracting. Never subtract a home. Never subtract a deal. You know why you don't subtract the deal? It's because you're offering them more for the property, which is only 19 grand 500. I offered them 20 grand. I put 14 grand 700 on the property to refurbish it. So it's got the tables. The kitchen's all nice because it already came with the building because I put 20 grand on it. I put 14 grand on it, 700. I raised the rent by, okay, so say I rented out for, let's say, okay, yeah. Let's say I rent it out, right? So after I've spent the money on it, let's go and rent it out for, let's go, because it cost me 20 grand, I'm going to rent it out, say 40, I spent 14, let's do the math, right? I put 20 on it, right? Out of that 20 that I paid the guy, I'm going to put 14 grand 700 down. Let's go. So I paid 20 for it, right? I've still got money in the bank. I'm not using a loan. I put 14 grand on it. No, let's just say, realistically, let's just say I put 14 grand on. Let's put 14 grand down to refurbish it. I spent 14 grand to refurbish the place, right? So I put 14,000 down to refurbish it. So let's do the math. So it's 19, right? I'll put the rent up to, let's say I put the rent up, right? I put the rent up to, because it costs me 20 grand, I'm going to put the rent up to about, say, cost me 40 grand to refurbish it. I refurbish all my properties that I buy, I refurbish it. Why do you refurbish it? Couch, TV, that's it. I spent 14 grand on that. I spent 14 grand to refurbish it. Couch, tables, that's it. No beds. No beds. I don't put the beds in. The customer has to bring his own bed in because he's got his own stuff, obviously. But they get brand new. Okay, listen. They get brand new couch, brand new dining table with chairs, brand new beds because that house has got, how many has that house got? That house has got. It's got a big bedrooms. It's got 60 bedrooms. No, it's got 14. How much? How many rooms has it got? Let's have a look here. Sorry, I'll go back to it again to check. Oh, so the land is about 16 acres. So it's 16.43 acres and 69 acres, right? So let's have a look here. So it doesn't say what. Oh, okay. So it's not a. You can't sleep here. What? Had the bedroom. Oh yeah, it's got bedrooms. Yeah, it's got bedrooms in it. Stupid. The deck, kitchen, lounge area. Oh yeah. Yep. So just need to add TV. Yeah. It's pretty much got bedrooms. It's got 1, 2. So it's got 1. So it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rooms. 6 rooms. So it's got 6 rooms, and I'm going to rent it out for. I spent 40 grand on it just to refurbish it to make sure it's got all the essentials for the customer, because they might put some stuff in there for themselves. They might have their own stuff. They're looking, or they might not even have any stuff. I put the rent up to, say I put the rent up to, let's say I spent 40 grand on the house, right? Onto refurbishing the house. Okay, now let's put down the rent for, because I spent 20 grand, I'm going to put down 90 grand. 90 grand for the 90 grand down. So what's that in a month? You say, what's that in a month? Rent's 19 grand because I spent. Remember the place costs 19,500. So I'm gonna cash on cash. Okay, let's do this. Add it up. Okay, so we spent 20 grand. That's 19,500. I put the rent up too because I refurbished it. Remember, I spent 40 grand on the rent, so we go. So we're gonna deduct. So let's go. So we pay 20 for it. So we deduct. Let's go. Let's like this, guys. So we're not going to deduct. We're going to deduct what we spent. So you get your receipt. Make sure that every refurbishment you get your receipt. You always ask the person that's doing your refurbishment for you to give you a receipt so that you can add it to the rent. You say, why do you add it to the rent? Remember, cash on cash. I want cash off that person that is renting it. Say my mum goes in there and rents it, right? And she pays 19 grand. She pays 90 grand. Okay? Right, let's add this up. So from 20 grand I spent, off that 14 grand that I spent, off of that 14 grand I spent, let's go times it. Oh shit. Okay, so that 14 grand that I spent, okay, what is it here? Okay, what is it here? You said what is it here? Okay. So what is it? 14 grand, right? Let's so out of that 19, so 14 grand out of that 19. So it's 19 and I spent 20 on it. So let's go, let's be real. So we spent 20 grand. So we spent 20 grand, right, on the building. So we are adding, we spent 20, no, say that, no, let's just be realistic here. No, sorry. Let's just be realistic here. You guys can still hear me. Sorry, I'm off camera for a minute because I'm just looking at I'm just doing the whiteboard real quick. So off that, say I paid 19 grand for it, right? Off that 19 grand, I paid 19, right? 19. So I paid the 90 grand, right, for the property. We plus it by 14 grand. Alright. Then we plus it by 18 grand. So out of commission, altogether, we've made $49,100. We've made $49,000 out of that. Out of that transaction, we've made $49,000. Out of that $19,000 we put up rent for $19,000 because we refurbished it. $49,000. Right? So we've made $49,000 out of what we paid for the place. The place was 19 grand. I spent 14 to refurbish it. I put it up to 19 grand a month. Cash on cash. Cash on cash, I made $49,000 out of that house. Even though I spent 19 grand on the house, I put down 19 grand for the house, right? Because the house was 90 grand, right? So I stuck down 90 grand for the place, right? So I put down 19 grand for the place. It's 90 grand 500. I stuck 90 grand down. Spent 40,000 out of my own, out of what I'm previously earning money off the other houses. 40. Remember before I said I've got another place. I've got 3 buildings that are under my name that I'm renting to own. The people are renting off me. They're doing the lease option to me, so they're entitled to pay the rent to me. I'm not the landlord. Okay, so let's go. Out of that 19 grand, we're going to go 19. We've paid 19 grand for it. I stuck down 19 grand on it. So I paid 19 grand. I paid 19 grand 500, right, for it. Paid 19 grand 500 for it. Right. So I spent 14 grand on it after I bought it. After I bought it, I refurbished it and I put the rent up to 19 grand. It's making me the total of. Okay, that's the total sum. So that's the total sum of what comes to $49,100. So I've made money because I've got $49,100. I've got 49 grand, right? 100 after tax. I've still made 49 grand out of that. Right? So I'm past 20. I'm past 20 grand. I'm way past 20. I'm lower than 20 grand. I bought it for 19 grand 500. And I'm getting revenue off that 19,000 to put the rent up. Because it cost me to refurbish it 14. Always add your 14s in there. Always add a grand on it. You say, why are you spending money on ridiculous prices? Because I'm going to make, again, cash on, 10% cash on. Always cash on the buildings that you buy. If you're in New Zealand and you're wondering how to do it, it's always got to be cash on cash. All the time. You always got to make your revenues. Make your income. You always got to make sure, crap. My building's falling apart. My whiteboard's falling apart. I need to buy a new whiteboard. Matthew, make notes. I need to buy another whiteboard. Small one, not a big one. Make notes, people, because every building purchase that you have, whether it may not be as flash as this one in Waina Preserve Quarry, but always do your research. Go out shopping for your houses. Houses are not going to come to you. You're going to go, okay. Don't go any higher than 90. If you go higher than 90, then you're stupid. You've got to do the art of the deal. Again, art of the deal. It's important to do the art of the deal. Otherwise, you're not going to make revenue. What's that word? Revenue. Net worth, not net worth. Revenue. You've got to make the revenue choice because you're buying a property and you're selling it in New Zealand, right? Only put a grand down. If it's like 19 grand, put down 19 grand. It might be a bit. I stop at 19 grand. Why do I stop at 19 grand? I'm not going over the price of the property. If it's 20 grand, I'm not going over that. I am not even going to think of buying the property because they've gone over the grand. Like if it's 30, okay, let's do another example. Another example is, this property is 340,000. It's 340,000. I put 16 grand down on the property because I like it. 60 grand down, right? All right, I put 16 grand down off of that 13. So we go 30 plus 30 deducted by 16. So I put 16 grand down on a 30, 14, right? So let's do the math. What's the one? I don't see the one figure. Always say the one figure doesn't matter, right? You put 16 grand down on that property, right? I put 16 grand. You got to pay for money. You got to pay, like I said, every property you buy. Say it's 340 for a let's say a 8-bedroom house. Let's say 8-bedroom apartment. Sorry, let's say 8-bedroom apartment. Top floor. Let's say they're selling the top floor. The bottom floor's already sold. So they're selling the top floor for 34,000. I put 16 grand down with the lease option. Right? I do the lease option. I put 60 grand down for the lease option. I'm doing the lease option. I put 60 grand down on the building. Okay, let's do the math here. All right, so we've got this building here for 34,000, right? I stick 16 grand on it. Let's add it up. So it's 34,000, right? Oopsie, wrong one. So it's 34,000, and I put down. So let's subtract. Let's say I put 40 grand. Yeah, right. Let's say I put it's 34,000, right? 34,000. I put let's say I put 40 grand. No, that's not. Oh shit. Let's do it again. So it costs. So the place is going to cost me 34 grand, and I put down. What was it? What I put down? I put down 16 grand. Eh? So I put down 60 grand. Let's just add this up here. I'm just trying to think of my head. 16 grand. I put 16 grand down, right? Right. So let's go. So $34 that I paid. It's $34, and I paid about, let's subtract it, $34. 34,000. 34,000. So the property is $34,000, right? 34,000. So it's $34,000 for the property. Let's go. 34,000, and we put 16 grand down. Add it up to, we put 16 grand down. Okay. This is not working out now. So I've got 16 grand down, right? You got to do the 40% thing. Got to make sure it's 40%. All right, so we got, so that all up, that's going to be 50 grand, right? So it's 340 for an 8-bedroom apartment. 8-bedroom apartment. From the bottom floor to the top floor. Eight. It's 8 in the apartment. Why do you say it's 8? Because that's what it is. It's an 8-bedroom apartment, right? It's an apartment. It's got 8 bedrooms. It's 34,000 I want for it. I put 16 grand down. All right. So that just leaves me with 15,000. So let's add it up. That's 50, right? So let's go. Say what is it? Let's go 3 and 6, 5. So that's 50. 3 and 6 is 50. So let's go. It's 34,000. I put 16 grand on it. So that's 50 grand. Right? So that's 15 grand cash on cash. Because I put the rent up to 15 grand. I put the rent up for 15 grand. Why did I put the rent up to 50 grand? I put 16 grand down, and the revenue a month I'm getting in 15 grand. So from that, it's 34, so 340, I put 16 grand down. I'm making 50 grand a month on that deal because it's an apartment. So I'm charging 50 grand a month. Way more than what they sold it for. Can you notice the difference here? So I'm selling it. They sold it for 340. I'm selling it for, put 60 grand down on it, on the property. I leased it for 16 grand. The rent is 15,000 because it's an 8-bedroom apartment. I put 50 grand down on it, right? And I put 50 grand on the rent because it's a lot of money. So cash on cash. So I'm making cash on cash. Remember, I only bought it for, I put 16 grand down, and I let the revenue of the place. Listen, I let the property pay for itself. No cap, remember, no loan, no mortgage, no credit. No credit on the property because I paid 15 grand because I put the rent up to 15 grand because it's 8 bedrooms in the apartment building. It's 8 bedrooms in the apartment building. Top to bottom, 8 floors. So it's 8 bedrooms, 8 floors. 8 bedrooms, 8 floors. So I put 15,000 down. Whoever wants to buy a room, each room is going to cost up to 15 grand. So I've made cash on cash. Cash on cash is very important when you're buying a house. You gotta make sure that every single place that you sell is legit. Each real estate agent that you use has to have each real estate you deal with, make sure that you get the right prices for each building. And maybe you put 16 grand or 15 grand down or 30 grand down. The maximum I said is 19, right? Different buildings, different costs. Properties vary. In the market today, the property values vary, right? Each property has got different prices. It's not all the same prices. Okay, I'm giving you examples here how to get around those prices. Don't spend your money when you first make your first part of your money. All right, you make your first money $40,000, right? Say you made $40,000 on you sold a house for $40,000, right? And it sits in the bank, right? That sits in your bank. So you got $14,000 sitting in your bank. Okay, you go shop around, right? You find a property for, let's say you find a property in Wellington, and it's going to cost you $38,000. No, let's do it this way. $40,000 is sitting in what? Your bank account, your business bank account. Don't put it in your everyday account because you'll spend it on whatever. Don't do that. You always, when you first start off in your real estate business, you have to, that's you who wants to become a real estate agent while you're watching this program. I'll teach you to be private real estate with the good deals, right? You've got 40 grand. You start off with 40 grand into your business account. You've got a business account. You've got an everyday account, right? You deduct off, right? You got 40 grand sitting there, right? You're going to spend it. You're going to go out and find a house. You're not going to spend it on yourself because it's not for you. That's for you making business. You want to make business. You want to buy something. Okay, you want to make a good income. You do that. You got 40 grand. You go online. Let's go online here. All right. I'm not going to show you. I'm going to tell you what I'm doing. I'm going to go to LJ Hooker. Let's say live in Wellington. Why do I choose Wellington? Because it can make me money. Wellington. Search. Well, that LJ Hooker. Right, LJ Hooker. Real estate company in Wellington. Okay, let's go Wellington property. Right. We don't want to rent property. We want to buy for sale properties. Why do we want to buy for sale properties? We don't offer rent because we don't want to rent out places. We want to make money. Oh, this is in Australia. We don't want to go to Australia. Let's go .com. Let's just take off the AU. I made a bloody mistake. Let's go .com. I don't want AU. Yeah, let's go .com. Oh, shit. Okay. We have to do it Google way. Google Square doesn't know what I'm talking about. So we're going to have to go LJ Hooker. LJ Hooker, Wellington. All right. Say I'm looking for a property, right? LJ Hooker, Wellington. Search. Google search. LJ Hooker, Wellington City suburbs. Real estate. Why do I real with LJ Hooker? Because they're the best company. They'll find me places to buy. Right. So now we're going to go to. Let's be realistic. We're buying. Using the least option. Okay, we don't want all regions. We want Wellington. Let's just go to the Wellington area. We want the Wellington area. So what you're going to do is you're going to go to the buy page. Doesn't need necessarily you need the money because we're starting off as the. Doesn't care what subject. We're going to choose 15 grand, right? To about say 15 to 15 grand. So we get a 5-bedroom. Anywhere between 5 plus. Property type. Say we want to get not a penthouse because we're not that rich. We are rich, but we don't want to buy a penthouse, do we? No. So we're looking at townhouses. Let's go find. Okay, it hasn't found us anything. So if we can't find anything, we're going to go buy. We're going to click on buy now. Buying. Doesn't show me properties. Why isn't it showing me properties? Okay, so we're going to find. So we're going to find a land. Let's go commercial. Let's go residential. All right, so here we go. LJ Hooker. Right, we've got some. Okay, we've got some good places here in Wellington. We got some in Calvin Street. All right, there's one in Calvin Street. Oh, it's land. We don't want to buy land. We want to buy a house on the land. Messy road. Okay, so we're going to go here to. Oh, it's all sold. Okay, that's all sold. Okay. Right, so we're going to go to this house featured on here. So this house is a simple, charming. This is in Calvin Street, Oamaru. This is in Oamaru. 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 Yeah, this is in Oamaru. Where's Oamaru? You say, where's Oamaru? This is Calvin Street by Wimley Park. You've got Hilton Park. It's in a good suburb. 17 Calvin Street. So looking at the Calvin Street property, there's no prices on it. So what am I going to do? I'm not going to swear. I'm going to talk to Michael Byrne. I'm going to ring Michael Byrne from LJ Hooker. So I'm going to ring Michael Byrne and find out how much. Okay, this is the property I'm looking at. It's a one door, 17. No exit driveway going up there. There's one house. Sale. The lights on. Alright. So we're going to click on buying because we want to buy, don't we? We want to buy a property. We don't want to sell a property. We want to buy it. Because we're going to do the leasing option. We're going to talk about the leasing option, right? Okay. Buying real estate, right? We're going to have a look. We don't get our own loan. We're not a first-time buyer, so we're going to buy with LJ Hooker. Why do I buy with LJ Hooker? They've got some of the good fucking deals on here. Some of the best deals that you could ever find on here, right? Okay. So. Or let's go and have a look at the real estate market. Let's go back. Let's go right back to the beginning where Uncle Google is, right? We go right back to where the beginning of Uncle Google is, right? All right? So we go right back, keep going back on the page. I'm on the page right now. I'm on LJ Hooker right now. So we're going to find a property, right? We're looking for a property. Oh, we just went too far. Shit. Go forward a bit. Shit. Right. So we're going to go to the top real estates page. Remember, we're not buying. We are buying a property, but we are using the lease option. Some owners might not want to do the lease option because they're idiots. They can't figure out what to do. Okay, this property. Oh, this property's right there. Cute, warm, 3-bedroom home. $695,000. Okay, so that's $695,000. I've got 40 grand in the bank. Okay, so 69,000. I put down. Okay, can we get the camera over here, please? Sorry, I'll get it. You know, we've got 40 grand sitting in the bank, and that's six. We've got 40 grand sitting there, so we go. Let's go. Okay, so 695. This is a 3-bedroom house. It's a ridiculous fucking price, you say, but no, it's not. Watch this. I've got 40 grand in the bank, right? I got 40,000. I got 14,000 in the bank. That's 69.5. Right. So let's subtract 69.5. So we're going to subtract that. So we're going to subtract 40 grand, $14,000, right? We're going to subtract 69. No, we're not subtracting. Don't subtract, sorry. No, we're not going to. We're going to go. We're going to put down. I'm going to offer them 18 grand. All right? You say, but why are you going to offer them? Oh, too much. You say, why are you going to offer them that much? You go, holy shit. Why are you going to offer them 18 grand? Watch this. I offer them 18 grand for the 695 property. That's probably 695, right? Let's do the math here. Right? I offer them 80 grand. Say Michael, not Michael. Say David, who's selling this property, cute, warm 3-bedroom house. Say David selling me this house. Right? Here's the realty. Right? Let's go. Don't use a calculator. Use your calculator. Calculate the price. This is 7 Norway Street in Ara Valley. This is in Ara Valley, Wellington City. This property is in Ara Valley, Wellington City. Now, I'm from Palmy, but I can deal down there because it's 69.5 for the house. Okay, let's check in. So let's go. We've got 40,000. We're spending 40 grand. Don't forget we're spending shit. We're spending 40 grand. Okay. For my 40 grand, I'm gonna put in 18. So that's 65, 9. Okay. So I paid for the property, right? So we've taken. So we've given him the four. We've given them. We've taken out about 40 grand, 39 grand. We've got 39 grand, right? $341 left over. And I offer him 80 grand. I offer him no. Let's say no. That's not realistic. Let's be realistic here. Okay. So 69.5. I put 80 grand on it. So 40,000. So I took 69.5 grand. All right, it's 69. So right, so it's 69.5. Now, remember, don't mathematically subtract it because you'll be an idiot. Because you'll get confused. It's 69.5. We're going to put 80 grand down on the 69.5 house using the lease option. All right, we've got 40 grand in our bank. All right, we've got 40 grand in our bank. We're putting 80 grand out of that 40 grand. So let's add it up. So 69. So we're gonna minus that by 80 grand. Let's go 80 grand. All right. So we got 80 grand down for the house, right? We're under the lease option. Remember, don't forget you say, oh God, it's too much money. Oh shit, how am I going to pay? Listen to me. 69.5 for the property. I put if it's 69.5, I put down 80 grand on the property. All right. So that leaves with me. What I still got to pay is that 9.5. So 67. Let's see. That's 69.5. So we go 67. We go 67,000 left over on the property to pay for. All right. So let's put down another 20 grand on that. Let's say we put down 20 grand on top of it. 20 grand. 20,000. We put 20,000. So let's we plus it because we're adding. We're not taking. Remember, we're adding to the debt, so we're taking away another 20 grand off that property. Right. So we took off from another 20 grand off that property, right? So it takes down your. So it takes down. Okay, so then we're going to put the rent up high. We're going to put the rent to, if it's 7,000, $700,000 for the rent. No, that's not right. So we're going to put. Okay, we put 20 grand down on the place. We'll put another 20 grand on top of that to pay it slowly. Remember, we're going to buy it. We don't want to go over that. Like I said, we don't want to go over it. So I'll put 80 grand down. Right? I'm pretty much going to pay for itself. So at 67 grand a week, okay, let's say we 67 grand for it. Let's say we put 67 grand rent up to 67 grand, right? Say the rent, say we go notify, we're doing the leasing. Remember, we're doing the leasing option. So we can choose to pay that debt off the house because we still owe 6-7, and say we put the rent up, right? Let's say we put the rent up to, because it's 690, so 677. We got a debt on that place. On the 3-bedroom house in Arrow Valley, Wellington City, we've got a debt of $677 on that house. So what do? I put the rent up to, because it's 67, so I put the rent up to 700,000. Watch this. Take away Do the math. It's all doing the math, right? Okay, so this place is a debt 67, right? We've got 700. So we've got 6. So we add. So we're going to add to that debt. So we're adding, and we're not adding to the debt, but we're going to add some money to the debt, right? So we charge 700. So we go. $700. So we've added. So we've just made. So we wipe the debt off. Okay. Out of the rent over a month, we've just made about 1 million. 1 million. We've just made 1,035,000. 1,035,000. 37. Sorry. 3570. Sorry. Hang on. So we've made altogether. Let's add this up. 7 in debt, right? Well, we put $700 up. We'll put the rate up to $700, right? Like I said, the person that you get in, right? So if we've added $700 rent, renting it for $700,000. So I'm ripping that $69,500 to the house. We put 80 grand on it. We've got a debt of 67,700. Or 67,700. Or 67,700. Or 67,000. 67,700. Sorry, blur. Start again. 67,700 on the building. Right, we've got debt on the building for 67,000. I put the rent of 700,000. So all up. So okay. So let's add it up. Do the math here. 30. Let's go 35,70,000. Cash on cash. The building literally pays. So I bought this place. Say I've got a debt of 67,700 on the house, right? I put the rent up to 700,000. You say, why did you put the rent up? Because it cost me 18 grand. The building cost me 69.5. I paid 80 grand down. That literally debt was 67. I put 700 on top of the debt. So we minus the 67. So we got $1,370 a month. Cash on cash. So hang on. I put the rent up to 700,000 a month. Monthly, they're paying 700,000 monthly. So monthly, let's add it up monthly now. Let's subtract it monthly by 1,000. Right? Okay, let's take up this. Let's take up this. 3, 5, 7. Minus the 3,500 a month. Times that a month. Times that 1,000. So the debt comes to, let's go equals, what have I done? Whoops. Oh, shoot. Okay. All right, I have to do this again. I have to do this again. I'll just read this. So monthly, 700,000 is going in. 700,000 being paid rentally to cover your costs. You've got to cover your debt. You've got to get rid of that debt before you buy another house. You don't just go buy another house while you've got the debt on you, right? So what you're doing now is you've got $700,000 a month going out for the person who's renting to own it. Remember, I am leasing the property out. So my price is, because it's $695 and I put 80 grand down, I've got a fucking debt I'm sitting on here, which is about $67,000. $67,000. Right? So I'll put $700 on the rent monthly. Monthly, not weekly. Make sure you got to do everything monthly. It's not a rent. Yes, you are ready to own. Right? You put a person in there for $700,000 a month. Your debt decreases. Your debt decreases by $1,357. Each time they're paying the rent of $700,000 until they move out, right? Cash on cash. Cash on cash. So my debt will be paid off. Let's go. Let's go. Okay, let's go. We've got 1,000, right? We've got 1,000 in debt. We've got $1,357 debt to pay. So each month we're deducting $700,000. That'll be equal. So we're going to add this up now. So we've got $1,357 debt left. See how the debt's going down every time that person's paying $700,000 a week. He's paying $700,000 a week monthly. You're paying $700,000 a week monthly. If you keep it going, your debt's going to decrease, because we're going to go. Let's decrease it. It's decreasing. Your debt is decreasing each time the person pays the rent. Every time that person is paying $700,000 a month, debt decreases. It goes from $1,357,000 to, again, do the math. Each time you do the math, it decreases. Do you notice how the money keeps decreasing? It's not adding, it's decreasing, because you are paying. You're not paying for it. You're not paying for it. The person that's paying $700,000 is paying. Your debt's going away, decreasing your debt. 1,000 going to zero. Right. Let's go $1,357. Right. Let's plus it by $700. Correct, why did I push? Push equals. Why do I keep pressing the wrong button for? Basically, come in. Let's see. Right, let's equal it. Right, so we're in credit now. Okay, we've paid off. We're pretty much paid off month after a month. You've pretty much paid off your debt. You are, let's say, okay, so now you're in credit because we've paid off the debt over a month, say a month later. They've left now because they've moved to better places, cheaper. So now we've got, let's go 7, it's 7, 7, 7, 0, 1. We've got $7,001 in credit. That's credit from your debt. That's credit. You've got no debt now. Because remember how we put 18 grand down, that cost us $6,707. 7 grand, sorry, 677 grand. 600. Let's say it this way. Let's do it easier. 677 grand of debt is gone. Without over a month, the person that's lived there, we've got 7,001 grand sitting there. Cash on cash. COC, cash on cash. We've just paid for that debt. That debt's gone. wiped it out because we put someone renting in there for 700,000. You say that's too dear. They're selling it for too much. 69.5 is too much. Don't pay the whole lot. 80 grand down. You're in debt. Don't worry about the debt. Don't panic. Go, oh shit, what am I going to do? I've got a 69.5. I've got a 77 grand worth of debt. Flick your rent up to for $700,000. For $700,000. Remember, your properties make your 3-bedroom home in Arrow Valley is paying for the debt. That 1,000. So that 1,000. What was it? What was it, Matthew? Yeah. Okay. So it's yeah. Okay. Yeah. True. 1,357,000 in debt because we put $700 on the property. We put more. So what we paid for it, 69.5, has turned into 677 figures, grand. 67.7, sorry, 2 sevens. 67.7 grand in debt. I put the rent up to 700,000 monthly. It's paid for itself. So I've made a net worth. I've made a net worth. COC, cash on cash. $701,000 I've made off that because they're paying monthly. Remember, you got to remember that they're paying monthly. They are paying monthly 700,000 for the property, and it's gone down. And now we're in credit. Now we're earning $701,000. That's a lot of fucking money. If you plan it right, yes, I didn't have to pay the 69.5. I put 80 grand down. That gave me 67.7 in debt. So it's 677,000. So 600. Let's say it that way. $677,000, right? In debt. Over a month, I paid off the debt. I've got 701,000 in my bank account, in my business account, in my bank account. I paid the real estate agent. Remember, the money that you're getting for the rent, you're paying it to the real estate agent because you want to make a relationship with him. You don't want to make enemies with your real estate agent because that fucks you over. You can't buy a place with the person you're dealing with. So, because I'm dealing with a person here, his name is Chris. No, Chris Day. No, what is? No, it's not Chris Day. Sorry, Paul Dickerson. So I've just made Paul Dickerson. He's a tender. He's the tender for the property. So he's charging 695 for the property. I gave him 18 grand. I still got the debt of 677,000 in debt. I'm paying him monthly at 700,000, and I get out of that commission. I'm charging him a commission of 701,000. So I got $701,000 off him. So he's selling the property for 695. I've got $701 off that commission. In commission, cash on cash. I've paid off the debt. I'm in credit. No, not credit. Sorry. Yeah, well, it's good. It's not credit. It's good. I'm balance of $701 I've made off it. Debt's paid. I paid Paul Dickinson the money, right? So I now own the 3-bedroom property. I don't want to be in there for too long. Now, I'm going to sell the property. Now, this is a different story. A month down the track, I'm not living in there. It's I've got someone renting it out. Okay, the person that's paying me rent now is paying me the rent because Paul Dixon's gone away with his money. He got his 7-1, right? I still got 40 grand in my business account. I've got less than 40 grand actually. I've got about 39,000 because I took the 40 out for. I took the 18 out of the 40, so I took the 18 out of so 69.5. 69.5. I've still got money in my account because my other buildings are paying for it. Because the other buildings the other houses that I got are paying for it. People who rent out my places, it's practically paying for itself. Cash on cash. I'm making cash off Paul Dickinson because he's paying me because I'm doing the least option. I put 18 grand down on the house, right? So Dickinson's I'm sending the cash flow to him to pay off the debt because I still owe him debt. Remember how I said before? Yeah, I'm not going to repeat myself again. I paid him off at 700. I put the rent up to 700,000 just to pay off that debt. I'm paying off the debt, and I still got 701 left in my bank account because it's paying. No, it might be no. Let's say I've got no, because realistically I've got 18,000 in the bank account right now, right? It's $17,000 that he's made. I still got 18 grand. I've still got more than 18 grand in my bank account, right? Sitting there in my account. So you do the maths, right? Okay, let's go down to the month. A month later, I want to sell my house. I want to sell my 3-bedroom. Okay, I'm not going to call it cute, like Paul Dickinson said. He said a cute 3-bedroom, warm, warm 3-bedroom home, right? I'm going to put out my sign because I want to sell this place because I've already got a place. I'm living out of my office that I'm working from, right? I'm not going to tell you fellas where I'm going to live. You all can go to my website when it's been made. Matthew's in the process of making my website. Boyd Real Estate. It's registered to my name. No one else can use that, unfortunately. Right. So anyway, back to the property. It's $695 he sold it for, right? Now I'm doing the rent to own. So now I want to sell it. I did the rent to own. Oops, I'm just drawing on the couch. Fuck. Just drawing on the couch. I can't get it off. Shit. So anyway. So he sold it for when I first came to look at the property. He's selling it for $695. Right now, I've come to sell it because it's mine. I own the 3-bedroom house that I bought in Arrow Valley. Say I don't really own it because it's still under Paul Dickinson. But say I bought it off him. Right. I'm just showing you guys how to sell a property that's too much money. Sometimes if it's that much money, don't bloody buy it. You'd be an idiot if you buy it. Remember I said only go to 19 grand. Okay? This is probably $695 I bought, right? I bought it. This a week later for number 7 Norway Street in Arrow Valley. It's in Norway Street in LA Valley, right? In Arrow Valley, right? In Wellington City, right? That's in Wellington City, right? I'm going to put my sign out. I've got 5 signs. 5 signs saying rent to own, right? 5 signs. No, I won't write that down. I'm writing it down. I won't write it down. So I've got 5 signs at the front, 1 in the house that says for sale. Rent to own. I've got rent to own at the front, right? That's my sign. That's your sign. That's your sign that you've got at the front. Rent to own. For sale on the house. As they come in, they're going to see the sign. For sale. Now, why I'm selling the house? I have to be there. I'm not going to sell it from Palmerston North. Because that's fucking ridiculous. People will come to buy your house. Remember, I put 80 grand down on the 69 figure. I paid the debt. Paul Dixon buggered off. He's buggered off. He's got his money. He buggered off. So now, I've got the house for sale. I'm going to sell it for, and it cost me a lot of money. I got the debt paid. A month later, I'm selling it. Okay. So I'm going to sell it for. This is how much you need to watch this because I'm showing you something. I'm trying to show you an example. I didn't really do this, but this is an example for you guys to learn when you're doing real estate because it's important that you do these things. All right. So anyway, as I say, I've got the sign at the front. It's important that you do these things because if you don't do these things, then you're going to get ripped off. And that's not what you want to do. I'm trying to make you money. I'm trying to make you figure it out to make the money, right? So what we're going to do is we put the sign at the front of the gate, on the gate. For my instance, I put my sign inside the gate so people don't fuck with it. I've got it on a signpost like this, right? I got it on my signpost. I'm there, so when I go away, I'm still renting the place. I'm still renting it to myself, okay? Because it's my own house. I'm paying the rent. Someone's got that room, and I'm living over here. I'm living down at the night shelter. Nah, I'm living down at a hotel. I'm staying with my brother Matthew. Why I'm selling the property? Yes, I'm still living in the property, but I'm selling it. I did an open home. Okay. Rent to own. For sale. Somebody offers me, okay, so I'm selling it for, okay, let's put this down. I'm going to sell it for, realistically, it costs $695. I paid it off within a month. So that's mine, so I can do whatever I bloody want with it. I'm selling it, okay? So I'm selling it for, let's say, it's $695 when I bought it. I put 80 grand down. I'm going to sell this property for, let's say, to get my money back, I'll say, oh, so I had to pay $700 in rent. So I'm gonna put a down price. I'm gonna get someone a deal, okay? I'm gonna say to them, this was $69.5. I'm not gonna charge $69.5 to get back $69.5. It's fucking ridiculous. No one's gonna buy a 3-bedroom house for $69.5. Paul Dickinson is an idiot. He sold it for $695, right? I'm selling it for a figure of. Let's do this. Are you ready? Listen. Write this down too. You need to write down and follow what I'm showing you. Example. You don't need to write down. Just listen to the examples. It's really important you learn this. This is part of real estate. I'm going to put down, I'm selling it for, let's say, I'm going to sell it for, because it's 6,000. I'm going to go down from 695. I'm going to go right down to, because it's too dear. People don't want to buy a 3-bedroom house for that much. So I'm going to go down. I'm going to go right down the list, and I'm going to sell it for $200,000. It's cheaper, eh? Notice how he sold it for $69.5. I'm selling it for $200,000. Right? And say somebody doesn't want to pay the $200,000. Say they want to pay me. Let's say they want to pay. They say, oh, I want to rent it. I say, okay, cool. So it's $200,000 I'm selling it for. Buying price, asking now price, the buying price for it, $200,000, right? And he wants to rent it out. So I'm going to do $3 signs here so I can show you. So it's $200,000. They want to rent it out. So I'm going to rent it for, let's say, 19 grand. A month, right? That's in a month. I'm going to rent it out for 19 grand. A month. Notice how I'm renting it out for 19 grand. My price was 700 before for that person that was living there. Before that was before when he left because I told him I'm going to sell it now. So he bought another place. Circumstances he bought another place. Right. So I'm selling it. Months later, he's gone already. He's already gone. And I don't worry about the person who rented it. I charged 90 grand. It's $200,000. $200,000 for their house, right? Okay. So now I'm selling for 19 grand. 19 grand I'm selling the house for. Notice how I've gone down from 69.5 that Paul had it. I've got it at 90 grand. That's as far as you sell a place for. It doesn't matter if it's not a 3-bedroom house. Sell it for 19 grand. Don't sell it for 69 or 700 grand. You're ripping the poor person off. The person who wants to buy your house wants to buy it in cash or check. Take it. Don't sell it for 69.5. That's stupid. You're trying to make money, not trying to rip the person off who wants to buy it. Don't ever rip off the buyers because they won't use you again. They'll find someone else, and that's not good for business. So you need to be business-minded and think, okay, gee, I'm going to sell the house for 90 grand. I rent. I'm going to charge 90 grand. I'm selling it for 200,000. I've got 90 grand down for rent. So let's add it up. Let's add this up. Let's add it up. So 90 grand a month will be. So what's 90 grand a month? Matthew's pretty good at it. He's a real estate agent. Matt's a real estate agent. He's very clever. So I'm going to talk to Matthew on my earpiece. Matthew, I want to talk to Matthew who's live in Wellington. So Matthew, how much? So I'm renting out $9 a month. That's $200,000 to sell the house. And someone wants to rent it for 90 grand. I'm charging 90 grand monthly for the rent. So monthly, let's say over 3 months. Let's times that by 3 months. Times that by 3 months. Let's times that 90 grand rent for 3 months. He's there for 3 months, right? 200,000. He's renting out for 19,000. 200,000. He's renting out for 19,000 in 3 months. Plus, times it by 3 months. All right. So this one, if you can't work it out, use a calculator. That's all right. So for me, I don't use a calculator. I use my brain. Okay. So we got 19 grand 3 months. So 19 plus 3 months. Times it by 3 months. Okay, so we're going to times it by 3 months, right? I'm going to do it on calculator just because I've already said I've only got 5 minutes left in my live stream. So let's go. It's 200. I'm selling it for, right? 200,000, like I said. 90 grand. 90 grand. Three months. I've made 57 grand. I've made cash on cash. I ended up. So we go 19. We've just made 57,000 in cash. Now that pays over 3 months $57,000 for rent, right? So I've made $57,000 on the house, renting it. So you know, so they paid me my 57,000 and they took off. So now I've got a buyer. Right, let's take off that because they've already paid their rent. They've gone. Over 3 months, they've gone. 3 months, they've gone. They paid me out my money before they left because I was there for 3 months. I added 3 months. For this one, you have to use a calculator, right? I've made 57,000 of them for 3 months. Now I've got a buyer coming. I've got that 57,000 added it by the. Remember how I said I had 80 grand in my bank? Added up from 50,000. Added up. So I had 80 grand. So we go 57,000. That takes up to 90,000. It takes me up to $90,000. I've got 90,000 sitting in my business account. Why is it not paid to my everyday account? I can subtract. Take away. I could take away $700 a day out of that business account. $700 in cash, not 1,000. I take $700 commission out of the business account for myself. So I'm working for myself. The only people that I want partnering with me is the real estate agent. The only people I want partnering with me is my family. Why is that? Because my brother works for me. And he's making more than me. Because I showed him the same thing I'm showing you guys today. Okay? So I've got my brother Matthew selling houses down in Wellington at the moment. I'm here in Palmerston trying to get some deals in Palmerston. Now, like I said in the first part of the start of the video, if you go back to the start of the video, it's telling you, right? It's telling you how to buy houses that are more, right? Over a month, I've paid off the debt. It's gone. No debt, right? So now, I've just done the wrong thing. That's right. So we've added it up, So I'm selling it probably for 19,000, right? 19,000. I'm writing my right board. Excuse me, guys. 19,000 down. I've got 19,000 down on my property that I've got that I own now. That I now own it because I paid a lot of money. I rented it out for a lot of money because Wellington is cost effective. You've got to be right on the market, right on the ball. I was right on the ball there, right? 695 was that property, right, from the professionals. They're selling it for 695, right? And I'm earning 57 a month. 57 a month, right? Okay. A buyer offers me, say it's 19 grand, right? A buyer offers me more for it. He says, I'll pay. He said to me, I'll pay, instead of 19 grand, I'll pay you 20 grand. Yep. Sweet. Okay, so adding from my 19 grand, right, he's giving me 70. So he's giving me 70 grand. Oh, sorry. No, 20 grand, sorry. So out of the 19 grand, he offered 20 grand. I took it. Why did I take the deal? Ask yourself this question. Why did I take the deal? What's the reason I took the deal? You say to me, why did you take the deal? Well, listen to this. I'm selling it for 19 grand, right? I've already rented it out for 3 months. I've rented it out for 3 months. The buyer who's buying it, say his name is Jimmy. I'm just making it up. Okay, I'm just showing you an example. Jimmy bought it for 20 grand. Right? So I've made a flat. I was selling it for 90, but Jimmy got it for 20. He gave me 20 grand for it. What's the cash I made for it? 20 grand cash on cash. Okay? He's buying it. A buyer came in and he bought it. He's bought it. It's his now. So he owns the property now. So it's his property now. So now I move on. A month later, I move on to get another place. Or Matthew's gone to get. I said, Matthew's gone to get more money out of it. So I've just made 20 grand on the property, 3-bedroom, while Matthew's off doing his deals, making him money, putting it in the same account we've got for our business account. Okay. So I sold it for 19 grand. I got 20 grand for it. 20,000. Sorry, not 20 grand. 20,000. So I've got 19,000 on it. I got 20,000 for it. I've made a cash on cash. Not my money. No loans. No mortgage. In credit. You say, why are you in credit? I paid all, like I said before, I paid all my debts off. Let's hit some lights, please, John. So I paid, he's paid me 20 grand, the buyer's paid me 20 grand. I've just made a commission. I've just made a cash on cash deal for 20 grand. So now I've got more money in my bank account because I've just sold this place. And remember, I bought it for, I put 18 grand down. 18, not 80. I put 18 grand down. Over 3 months, I made quite a bit of 57,000. Over a month, I'm making quite a bit of money. So I'm earning quite a bit of money off my properties that I sold. It started off with a big, hefty price, but after paying $700,000 that I paid off to the real estate agent. He's earning money. He's earning bloody good money. I'm working with him. Once he's paid off, he's fuck off. No, sorry. He leaves because I've just sold it a month later, 3 months later. I sold it for 19 grand, for 19,000, sorry, not grand. I keep saying grand, fuck it now. 19 grand. The buyer paid more for it. He said, well, this is a lovely bedroom, 3-bedroom. He paid 20 grand. He paid me 20,000. $20,000 cash on cash. So I've made cash on cash. You can do that. This is that simple. Right. All right? It's that simple that you made of that property over in Arrow Valley, Wellington City. It cost a lot of money. I only put 80 grand down. All right, I was in debt by 677. I put the rent up to 700,000 a week to pay the debt off. All right, I put it up to 700,000. Why did I do that? Because I did some work on the property. So I add up the rent to the how much I spent on the property, 18 grand. How much did I spend on the property? 18 grand. How much did I do the property up for? 18 grand. 18 grands I spent. So let's go 18 grand plus 18 grand. So we're going 18 grand plus 18 grand. How much? Again, I say do the bloody math. Why do you do the math? Why are you mathing it for? It's important to know your maths. If you're not a person you can't count, use a calculator. It's bloody easy. Your calculator might not get it right sometimes, but rely on your calculator on your phone. Use your calculator. If you can't add, that's okay. Use your calculator. I don't use calculator. Like I said, I mathematically use my brain. Who taught me this? Grant. I'm adding without using a calculator because Grant says when you do property, make sure you get a good deal out of your properties that you buy. Grant owned more properties than I do. I've only got 3 properties and I've sold all of my properties. I'm sitting at 40,000 monthly, not weekly, monthly. 40 grand monthly times 10. Times 10. Do you notice? Times 10. Each time that you do it times 10, you're making money. Yeah? Sound good to you guys? All right. Coming up after the break, I'm going to show you how to market. So I've taught you a bit so far. All right. Coming up after the break. All right. Coming up after the break, I'll be showing you how to market. I'll be showing you the next part of, sorry, not market, but I'll be showing you the next part on how to keep the revenue flowing in. You always got to keep the revenue flowing in. Why is that? You say, why do I keep the revenue flowing in? It's very important that, yes, Matthew, I know. It's very important that you keep the cash coming in. All right? Because it's very important too. Matthew's going to put on Matthew's going to put on an ad. So anyway, as I say, it's very important to have a contract. Your contract goes with the house you're buying. Each contract, my contract's still the same, it hasn't changed. From 2011, my contract's changed. I changed the contract again. Why? Because it's now 2019, and now I'm buying properties today to sell them. I want to make sure that my signs come with me when I sold the house. Don't leave your signs behind because you got to go buy more. I've got 5 signs. Selling my property is important. Now, as I said, anyway, we're going to keep on with this. We're adding, before we go to the break, Matthew, I've got to add this up. Sorry, I've been talking too much. So we're going to go back to this. 18 plus 18 grand. So add that up. 18 plus 18. Do the math again. Do the math. If you don't know how to do maths, ask me. I'll do one-on-one. I'll do one-on-one workshops with you too if you need to. All right. So we go 18 grand plus the 18 grand. Okay, 36 grand. All right. Let's go 3. One is 3 is 30. 36. 36,000. So I spent 36,000 on the property. So I refurbished the property for them. I refurbished the property. Refurbishing makes me 36 grand. Alright, so 80, so we go 80, 36,000. Okay. Because I wanted to put up the rent. I wanted to refurbish it for the person, ready for the person to buy or rent. Now, listen, you do not want to rent a property. You do not want to rent a property, right? You do not want to rent a property for too long. You know why? Why? Because you don't want to rip it off. You want to make sure that you are flipping, right? You want to make sure that you don't rip people off, yeah? You want to make sure that you do the art of the deal. The art of the deal. Make sure you do a deal properly, okay? I'm not bad. This is how to sell real estate in New Zealand. Be back with you soon. This is Money for Nothing from Song Money for Nothing.
Hey, so I noticed you attended the webinar. Hopefully you learned a ton, but you didn't end up.
So this is This is Darkness.
So who's the baby over? That's the way you do it. You play the guitar, make it cheap. That ain't the word, but that's the way you do it. So money for nothing, you just for free. Now that ain't work, that's the way you do it. Well, let me tell you everything, take down. Baby, get a blister on your little bit down. Baby, get a blister on your little. We got to get strong like a river. Let's get you the way. Let's get I tell you what, that's a wrong. You gotta have a process and so jet and yeah. So really go down. We got to get strong like a river. Let's get you the way. Got to move deep. It's a river. Just to miss you, should have learned to play the guitar. Should have learned to play the drums. Look at that mama, she got it sticking in the camera girl. She really turned me on. And me so bad, what's that? A white noises banging on the vocals like a chimpanzee. That ain't working, that's the way you do it. Money and no nothing and the chicks for free. We got to install like a wave on it. Custom kitchen delivery. Got to move the refrigerator. Got to move the TV. That's the way you do it. You play the guitar on the MG. That ain't working. That's the way you do it. But your money ain't for nothing. The chicks for free. Get your money ain't for nothing. The chicks for free. Get your money ain't for nothing. When the chicks for free, you let the chicks for free. Get your money ain't for nothing. If the chicks for free, get the chicks. Got some money and for nothing. If the chicks for free, get the chicks. Money and for nothing. TV, money and for
I Want My MTV, sung by Dire Straits, Money for Nothing. Welcome back to this live stream. My name is Lord Bard, and I'm giving you real estate tips on how to sell real estate. Excuse me, pardon for burping. I'm giving you keywords that you can learn. Right, we're back from the break. We just took some time off the break because it's really it is very hard work teaching. But I'm going to show you how to do real estate in New Zealand. Right? Now, my brother's standing by in the studio from Wellington. My brother's at our work in Wellington. He's also working for me. He's making lots of money. He's working for me and working for himself. Two things. Work for yourself. If you don't want anyone to be a partner with you, it's okay. But show them my strategy on how to sell a place in New Zealand. Now, not many people say, oh, but I need a license to do it. No, you don't. As long as you've got your contract, you're fine. You're safe. Because if they take you to court, and you said, no, he or she signed the contract. That's why it's very important to have a contract, ladies and gentlemen. If you don't have a contract, it's not going to work. Yeah? Just getting cold in here, so I'm just going to turn the heater on. Give me a second. Okay? Without you, if you don't do it the way I'm teaching you, right? You're not making money. Oops, just a bit tripped over then. You're not making money. Why aren't you making money? It's because you aren't doing what I'm telling you to do. It's important to make the art of the deal. The art of the deal is very important when you're doing real estate. Because if you don't do it by... right. Let me tell you something. If you don't do it by how I'm showing you step by step, then you got no friggin' idea what you're doing, do you? You've got no idea what you're doing. So you need, and I can't stress this enough, you need to do the steps that I'm giving you. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. 6 theories I gave you before, right? Apply those to what you're doing when you're selling your house. Don't use this, not that. I'm not showing you what that is. Okay? You've got to make sure that you're making money. Oh, excuse me. Oh, man. Excuse me. Oh, jeez. Oh, I'm putting snot all over myself. Oh, shit. I'm snotting. Right. So, I've showed you how to find properties. Now I'm going to tell you how to market yourself. Market your business. Give yourself a trade. Give your business a name. Because you've earned enough money over the years of doing this. You've earned yourself some money. I've called mine Boyd Real Estate. My brother's still working on the website, which I'll probably give you down in the description later. Which I'll give you in the chat, actually. Which I'll have on my Twitter page when he's made it. My brother's in the process of making websites for me. He's also running the studio. So he's put this all together so that we can teach you guys how to do it. And make sure that you share it with people who want to become multi-millionaires, right? Overnight, you're not going to be a multi-millionaire. It's just going to go poof. You've got to use the lease options, as I was saying. Use your lease options. It's the most important option that you can do, right? The lease option. Remember, because you've got no money down, no loans, no credit. You're in credit. You're in credit when you started doing it. At the start, you shouldn't have any. You shouldn't have any debts outstanding. Don't get any loans out because you don't need to, because it pays. Like I said, your property pays. Your property will pay everything. Okay, your property, pretty much your house will pay for itself. Remember the COC, cash on cash. You've got to have 10 grand on you all the time. Out of that commission that I'm earning from the houses that I'm earning at the moment, I make sure I got 10 grand on me all times. I make sure I got 10 grand on me. Why is that? Because I'm taking the percentage of 10 grand into my personal account from the business account. 10 grand's going out to me, 10 grand's going out to Matt. I'm always making money because Matt's always going out getting properties. Why is I doing Wellington? Because Matt's doing Wellington. Because he's there. He used to stay with me here and do Palmerston with me. Now Matt's gone in to do the same thing what I taught him. And he's still driving trucks. So Matt's quit driving trucks now. Matt's selling houses like I am. He's doing the rent to own policy. Why do we do rent to own? Ask me questions down in the chat. Down in the description, ask questions and I'll try and answer them, because each show I'm going to be every Friday. It's now 5:13. Every Friday I start the show at 2 o'clock. I go through till 8:30 at night. Why do I go through to 8:30 at night? Because I'm showing you guys some ways of doing it. Now, in this next part, I'm going to show you how to market yourself. Market yourself is the most important thing. No, it's not actually. Scrub that. We're not doing that. Matthew just said we're not marketing. Now I'm going to show you, right? The next part of the series, in the next series, I'm going to show you, right? So this series, I'm showing you how to do real estate in New Zealand. And the next part of my series, I'm going to show you guys how to buy your first property. I've told you how to how to do real estate in New Zealand, read the description. Read in the description what it says. Okay? Before I tell you how to do it, I'm giving you those 6 steps. Yeah? Okay? So that's what you do. So we come back from the break after listening to I Want My MTV by Dire Straits. If you have questions about the value of properties, I can answer them, okay? What's the value of that property that I sold? What's the value of these properties that you're selling? If you've got other questions, I've got a hotline, 021 177 2246. 027. Sorry, not 027. 021 177 2246. 021 177 2246. For any questions tonight. For any questions to ring our hotline tonight. It's open. The lines are now open. I've been told, Matthew's told me that the lines are now open on the mobile. The mobile lines are now open. If you have any questions, give us a call on that. It's 5:16. It's 5:16. It's 5:16, and here's we're going to have a 5-minute listen, and we're going to listen to yeah, that's what we're going to do. We're going to go and listen to some of Grant's. We're going to go and listen to one of Grant's to give you an idea what Grant does. Now, make sure that you guys follow Grant too, okay? Follow him on Instagram, Facebook. Grant Cardone. Grant. I can't spell his name properly. Grant. That's not how you spell Grant either. Oh, hang on, we had it. Let's see. We're going to go and listen to one of Grant's videos on real estate as well. Okay? You'll see some of what he's saying. So let's go and listen to him. So we're going to go and listen to what Grant had to say. Make sure you like and subscribe to his channel as well. He can teach you some more things as well. All right? So listen. Listen to what Grant says. He's going to be talking about how to become. Grant is talking about real estate too. Truth about real estate. Grant's going to tell you the truth about real estate. Listen. Right back.
My name is Grant Cardone, and I've been investing in real estate for 30 years. And for the first time, I'm making what I do available to you. My dad taught me, Grant, if you don't respect somebody else's money, you won't respect your own. And that's what most people don't understand about the real estate game. I don't need 35 million to become 70 million to make money. I need the 10 million I put down. I need it to be worth 35 when I exit from that 10 million to double, and I got paid while I sat and wait. This is not get rich quick, but I promise you, this is protect your money. It will grow over time, and you will get income while you're doing it. I pick the deals. I hand select deals. We never over leverage a deal, and we only buy deals that cash flow in month one. People that are buying real estate, the people that accumulate massive real estate portfolios, buy at the bottom, in the middle, and at the top. My first deal almost 30 years ago was an investment of $350,000, and that $350,000 is turned into $540 million worth of real estate, own, operate, and manage today that produces income for me every month. I have proven over 30 years. I know how to pick. We don't lose money. We produce positive cash flow, and we wait out cycles until we make money.
We're back with Lord Bard. Welcome back. That was Grant Cardone. He is telling you how to do real estate as well. Respect other people's money, like he said. Okay? So now that you've listened to that, my camera's not right. Sorry. So now that he's listened to you, what he needs to say. Now that he's spoken with you, what to do? Respect other people's money. That's another thing. Number 7, respect other people's money. Right, so now I'm going to give you another example. Now I'm going to go to another example. Now we go into the next example. Okay, there's a property in 372B Hazelwood Avenue, Wellington City, for $613,000. Sold by Chris Day. Now we'll go to this is a sunny 3-bedroom townhouse in Karakara. Now what's that? Kararua. This is Kararua. This is a property in Kararua. So we click on this property, right? We're going to click on this property. Let's go to this. Let's click on the property. Okay, so he wants $633 for that. All right, so we'll go to. I can't read them now because it's 5:21, but we'll do that next show. Right, so it's 145 meters, 2 meters, 145 meters to excellent storage, garage, sunny, low maintenance, zone for Wellington College and Wellington's Guilds. Open homes 1 o'clock to 1:30. Tender closes 12 p.m. Thursday, 4th of July. So it closes on the 4th of July. Which is American time, 4th of July. So he's selling it for, he wants a down payment of $600,000. Total amount is $300,000. Calculated mortgage payment. Let's calculate, okay, let's have a look at the mortgage situation for a minute. Not that we're paying the mortgage, right? The total amount in a mortgage is $3,000. Mortgage. That's the mortgage. Down payment he wants. So that's $300,000 in the mortgage. That's the total amount. 300. He wants $3 million. $3 million for the calculated payments. Calculated. That's the total amount that he's got. It's the total amount, right? That's the total amount of the mortgage. You don't want to pay that. You do not want to pay that for a mortgage. Listen, the down payment, right? That's the down payment. That's DP, which is down payment. The down payment for this nice sunny bedroom, which is in Mountain Bike Park, sorry. Okay, it's across from the Wrights Hill Fortress. Okay, this is the property that he's selling. The down payment, what's the interest rate on that? 5. All right, this is the rate. This is the down payment for that is $1,600,000 is the down payment. Interest rate is for New Zealand. The interest rate is 5. So the in the period of 13 years. So 13 years. So look, this is percent. This is what's the interest rate? It's 5%. That's your interest rate. That's your interest rate. Okay. That's how much your mortgage is. The down payment on the mortgage. That's the down payment of the mortgage. That's how much the mortgage is. That's the down amongst 30 years, right? Watch this. Watch what I do here. You do not want the mortgage. No mortgage. You know how I said to you here? No mortgage. Why am I saying no mortgage, people? See that? Can you see that? See that? I'll hold it back here so you can see it. Let's go up a bit. There you go. You see that? No mortgage. It's got a. Why did I put a line through it? Because you're not going to pay the total amount of $3,000 and put a down payment of $600,000. The interest rate for that mortgage is $500. 30 years and 30 years. Let's calculate it. Let's calculate it now. Let's calculate the rest of it. For 30 years, press calculate. Okay, we've calculated it. Okay, you don't want to mortgage it. I tell people, don't fucking mortgage the place. Do not mortgage it. Do not mortgage. No mortgage. Forget the mortgage. Because look, you for 5% in 30 months. You've got 30 years and 13 years and 13 years. You don't want to. You don't want to have a mortgage on it. You don't want it to pay back their mortgage because you get to pay back the damn mortgage. You got to pay back the mortgage. Okay. So I look at it this way. I'm not spending any money on this place. Oh well, I might do a deal with him. Because most of these most of the owners of the property ain't the realtors. The realtors are selling on behalf of a person. A person who said, "Oh, he might have bought the property." You have to ask all these questions. You've got to ask the real estate all these questions, because if you don't ask them the question, then you're not going to know what you're bloody paying for the property, right? Sorry, my microphone, Matt. Sorry. So you do not want to be ripped off when you're doing a property. So this is a 70B Hazelwood Avenue, Wellington City. The location's in Kitty Roy. Right. This is a 1 bathroom, 3 bedrooms, and 1 parking. 3-bedroom house. And he's selling it for the price. It's a townhouse. I think it's a townhouse. Yes, it is. We said that, didn't we? It is a townhouse. Yes, it's a tender details. So this property information, right, this is awesome. Right, he's selling it for, right, $630,000. 63,000. So let's do the math. Do the math. 630,000. All right. I ring up Chris. What's his name? I think it's Chris. Yeah, Chris Day. I ring up Chris Day, right? I say, I want to put the property on lease. I say, why? Lease option. I'm going to tell Chris I want to do the lease option. You say, why are you doing the lease option? Again, I'm not paying for it. Okay? So it's 36,000. I put down payment. I'm not going to pay that ridiculous price of $630,000, am I? No, I'm not going to pay. This is Hazel Ave. This is Hazel Ave. This is the townhouse in Hazel Ave. I do not want to pay. I so do not want to pay $630,000. No. I'm going to do a lease option with him. Okay. Out of the money that I'm making with my other properties, I'm going to put in. Let's go. I'm going to offer him. I'm going to put the rent up because it's $1,630. Right. I don't want to go into debt. All right. That's the number one thing you do not want to do with a house like this. He's selling a sunny bedroom, 3-bedroom townhouse. Okay. So I'm going to put the rent. So now that I did the lease option, right? The lease option. So it's under my name now. So I'm going to rent it out at I'm going to rent because it's $630 to own. That's the asking price for the house. I'm going to rent it out at, let's see. So I've got the lease option on it. I'm going to rent it out for, so I'm going to rent it out. So I'm going to offer to rent it out for, let's say $630. So I'm going to go down a price. Why do you go down on the price? Monthly. Remember, it's monthly. People are going to stay in here for monthly. You have to stay in the house, though. The main thing is when you buy your, this is your first house. No, actually, we already sold the one in Arrowtail Valley. So now we're moving on to the townhouse. Right? So it's $630,000 to buy it. To buy it. We don't want to buy it yet. We're going to rent it out. That's what the lease option is. We're going to rent it out for. So that's $630. I'm going to rent it out for $5,000. What? $5,000? You're going to rent it out for $5,000. $5,000. Why are you renting it for $5,000? My goal is to buy this house, this townhouse, this 3-bedroom townhouse. I want to buy it. Okay, but if I put it up the rent to $5,000. All right. Say I'm putting the rent up to $5,000. That's the rent cost. So I'm going to put the rent up to $5,000 monthly. Monthly. The person who's renting it, because it's mine, it's under my. The lease is under me. The lease is under my name. You don't have to go through the legal shit because I've got a lawyer. I've got a property lawyer who's going to. I've got a property lawyer, right? Who done up my contract for me. Okay, I'm gonna find a property lawyer. That's the first thing before I start doing this game. The first thing, like I said before, when I said before, we're going to get a property lawyer. Get a property lawyer to write out your. Because again, that covers any shit that happens. Could guarantee the landlord, the people who signed your if you don't have a contract, you're fucked. Put it in plain English. In plain English, you're fucked. Always have a contract before you do a deal. That's what I did. Now, ching ching. No, let's be serious for a second. Right, so let's go. So at $1,000 monthly, in say 4 months. No. Monthly. Monthly. Why do you say monthly? Because the person who's in it, you've got to be in it. It's 3 bedrooms. The first room is yours. On the door, you've got owner. Make sure that you've got a, because it's yours, at least to you, so you can take the door off and do whatever you want with the door. I put on the door, right, not a note, but a sign. Sign. Do you hear me? The townhouse, the 3-bedroom townhouse, I'm in the number one. Even though I've got a place in Palmerston North, I'm not telling you where. I've got a place in Palmerston North. I'm going to be living at the property while I'm renting it out for $5,000 a monthly, not week. We won't do monthly. No more than a month. Because it's monthly. It's monthly. Let's go 5 a month. So it's not monthly. It's a month. 5 a month. It's not monthly. Sorry. Let's go. We want to keep the house for about at least say 3 months. 3 months. So let's go. So it's $635, right? $635, and they're paying rent for 3 months. All right, let's just add this up, okay? So how am I going to add it up? Well, this is so simple. It is so simple. It is so bloody simple. Watch me. No, right, let's get rid of this. Right, if you can't add again, use a calculator, but I don't use a calculator, so I'm just going to add this up real quick. So this is how much it costs, right? Keep it still. That's how much it costs. $630,000. I'm renting it out for $5,000 a week, monthly. $5,000 monthly. I'm renting it out for $5,000 monthly. So okay, so I'm making revenue out of that. Okay, so they're paying the rent. So let's go. So that's 6. So 630. So 1630. 1630 a month. By. I'm going to times that by 5,000. Shit. So that's the buying price. So I'm renting it out for 5,000. Times it by 3 months. So we times it by, so that's 15,000. I've just made, out of that 3 months, I've just made 15,000. $15,000. See that? The 3 months I made 15,000 out of that. Each month, 3 months has come up. All right. I've got 15,000 for the house. Add that with my other. Add that with my other houses. Okay. So we'll say 100 grand. So in the account, altogether, I've got 100 grand in the account. So you ask yourself, what am I going to do? I can now buy the place, can't I? All right. So let's say 3 months is up on his lease, on the lease. Say I paid. All right. So say after a month I paid $630,000. Okay, so we've paid for the house. We've got the 3-bedroom townhouse now because we've paid it off. Over 5 months, say over 3 months, we paid it off. Over 3 months. Over 3 months, we paid off that whole. So now you watch this. I've got 15 grand from the rent. The guy's gone. Right now, I want to sell the place. How much am I going to sell that place that was $630,000? I've got 100 grand in the bank, banked. I take a commission off that, take away 10 grand. Each month, I'm taking out 10 grand from that 100 grand. That's not monthly. That's a commission that I'm taking out of my own, that I'm paying myself. I have to pay him. He's paying himself because he's doing the same thing I'm doing, right? Okay. So I'm taking 10 grand out of that 100, so that leaves me with 90,000. Okay, because 10 grand's going into my bank account for myself a month. So that's paid out monthly. That's my income. It's not monthly, it's my income. So I've got 19 grand. 119. Sorry, not 19. 90 grand, sorry. Whoopsie. I'm getting ahead of myself sometimes. So that's 90 grand. I still got 90 grand sitting in income. My income is 90 grand left over. Why is that? Because I'm getting commission out of my, so in my not income, sorry. In my business account, I've got 90 grand left over. Because when 10 grand comes out of my bank, right, goes to me, pay myself, I'm paying myself 10 grand, say, monthly. Say monthly. 10 grand monthly. Say we've got 10 grand monthly. Right? 10 grand's coming out of 100. So what's that? 90 grand. 90 grand. So what am I going to do? Because I've got this place that I'm selling now, and I've still got 100 grand in my bank. Right? 10 comes, I'm paying myself 10 grand. Why am I paying myself into my everyday account? Why am I paying myself 10 grand in my everyday account? Because I'm paying myself. Each deal that I do, I make sure I've got an automatic payment coming out, going to me. I'm making sure that I'm giving myself, because I'm by myself now, because my brother's down and went to selling houses. That place was 13,000, right? From that rent, I got 100 grand. This is 3 months later, right? Right, so now I want to sell the place, rent to own, to sell. Okay, I want to sell it. I'm going to move on to my next ventures. I want to move on and I've got the place now. I've got it. It's my house. This townhouse is mine. Am I going to sell this one? This is my second house. Yeah. No, this is my first house. Sorry. Am I going to sell this first house? No. I'm going to keep the grant. I'm going to keep it as is, the rent. So what's the rent? 15 grand a month. 15 grand a month, isn't it? Because now that I don't have to pay for the building, it's mine. That 3-bedroom is mine too. That 3-bedroom townhouse is mine. Because I bought it. After 3 months, I bought it monthly, 50 grand still. Okay. I was still renting it out. So now that I've got 100 grand after, say, the 4th month, so I've had this one going for 3 months. We've now come up to 4 months later. So what am I going to do at 4 months later? I'm not going to sell it. Because I'm going to move from Palmy to this 3-bedroom townhouse. I'm still renting it out at 50 grand a month. 15,000 a month, sorry. Not grand. I keep saying grand. Why am I saying grand? 15,000 a month. Is this 3 zeros? Yeah. Thank you, mate. Okay. Right. Why am I? What's the question? The question for you is, why have I still got this this is my first townhouse. This is my first townhouse. Forget about the other one that I gave, the other point I gave you, because don't think about the Arrow Valley house. Think about this house now. We've got the 3-bedroom house. We bought the townhouse after 3 months has gone by. 4 months, we're now doing the 4th month. I've still got this place. That's going to be my home base. I'm still renting it out at 15 grand a week. Okay, so we take out the 630 grand, 16,000. We take the 16,000 out, 16k out, right? Because I paid that off. It's mine. I'm the owner of it. It's a ridiculous price, but I managed to get around that. See, I got around that. How? I rented it out. Lease option, rent, 15 grand. I've paid it off. Because I was paying I'm paying myself. Don't forget, I'm paying myself this 15 grand a month. It's going 50 grand's going, half of 50 grand is, what's half of 50 grand? 4 grand. Because half is getting deducted and going to the real estate agent who's trying to sell the property. Now it's under my name. I'm selling it. The realty manager is, so now I've got 14. I take out 15 grand. I've got 14 grand left. Right? Cash on cash. COC, cash on cash. 14 grand is coming out because I paid off the real estate. I paid Chris off, so Chris is gone. He got his pay due. I paid the full amount at 15 grand a month. Isn't that cool? I paid 15 grand a month. Now, So now I get 50 grand back to me. So it just adds up again for another. Say I'm gonna own the property. I'm the owner now. So now I own the 3-bedroom townhouse, right? I still keep the price up to 15 grand. Okay, 5 years later, right? It's gone past the 3 months. They moved out. I'm not going to stay there much longer. I've been there 5 months, 4 months now. 4 months later, I'm going to sell the property for 15 grand. So how much are you going to sell the property for sale price? For sale price, I'm selling it at, let's say I'm getting, oh shit, I've done it wrong. Matthew, shit. Right, so let's say, right, let's just say, right, okay, this is what I'm going to do now. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this now. I'm going to sell the property now. It's 4 months later. 4 months later, I'm going to sell this property because I've got another property somewhere else. Okay, so it was, so the last price it was at was 630,000. Now I'm selling the place, the 3-bedroom house for, listen, I'm selling the 3-bedroom townhouse for this. I'll write this down so you can see it. Because we've already paid, the house is mine. No debt on it. There's no debt on it because I'm leasing it out. I paid the house off. So let's get rid of that 6 grand. So now, this is how much I'm selling the place for now, right? The sale price for this house, for this bloody beautiful townhouse, right? I'm going to sell it for this. Let's see, 5, 6. I'm going to sell the house for 6 grand. 16 grand. I'm going to sell the house for 16 grand. See, this is what Chris had it at. 630,000. This is how much now, 4 years later. Look. Can you see that, guys? The top one was 630,000. 630,000. Now I'm selling it for 16 grand. So notice how the price is different. Notice how it's not 630 grand because I've already paid it off. It's mine. I'm owning it. So now I'm selling it for 16 grand. Okay. And someone paid. All right, let's take this 15 off because we were selling the place now, so we can take the rent price off because they've already gone. The people who own the house, the people who came and rent the house is gone now, so I can sell it because they might want to move out. So now I'm putting the house on the market for 16 grand. So, but why are you selling it for 16 grand? I'm not selling it for 630. You say, why not? Because it costs money. Okay. So it costs us money to sell the properties. Okay. It costs money. Yes, it's a lot of money. But I'm making a deal with the agent. I'm saying I'm going to put down. I'm always putting down less than sometimes 19 grand. I might put 19 grand down, say. And I'll charge the rent higher than because it's 630. I'll charge the rent higher than that. I'll put 15 for rent each month. 50 for rent each month. Goes out. Now I'm selling the price. Someone offers me more than that. If someone offers me, someone offered me 80 grand, right? Let's say the offers. Let's say offer. Someone offered me 80 grand. The 3-bedroom townhouse, right? I take it. Right, so let's add this up. So I'm offering 60 grand to sell it. A guy gives me 80 grand. 80,000, sorry. He's saying grand. Someone sells it for 80k. So let's go 80k. Right. Right. I've still got the revenue. I've still got heaps of income. I've got income coming in from 10 grand. Remember, I'm taking 10 grand out of my own pocket, out of my business. I'm paying myself. I'm literally working for myself. I'm a private real estate agent. I'm literally working for Jesus, though. Remember, everything I do is through the love of Jesus. I do things under the love of Jesus. I'm a better dealer. I'm a better agent than any agent you can think of. Because I've got to be a people person. Because I'm working with other real estate agents to do business with them. Like today, I've experienced Jenny. She's lovely. She's a lovely lady. She doesn't want to share the property because I was just about to say to her, give it to me in the lease. She won't share the property. Some agents don't want to share with you. Say, but why? They don't have the concept like I showed you. They don't have the steps to making income. They say they're making good income, but are they really? No. Because half of their commission goes to the manager who's running Ray White. For Christ's sake. This is a manager running Ray White. There's the big boss. I'm talking about the big boss who runs the Ray White companies around New Zealand. Okay? He's the one that owns that. They're not making residual income because they're working for the boss who owns Ray White. Don't ask me what his name is because I have no idea who he is. But he's a bloody idiot. Why is he an idiot? He's got so many Ray White companies around New Zealand, as you can see them, Ray White. He's making money off all his real estate agents. Those are all his agents. They're not working for themselves like I am. I'm working privately. Do I use a card? No. So why not? Because I'm doing business. I'm straight to the deal, straight away. I'm always out. I'm not always home. I'm not always here in Palmerston North. I travel around looking for houses, see what cheaper deals I can have. Now, anyway, back to this. So they pay 80 grand, all right? So I accept the offer, all right? So I've sold. We call that sold the house. I sold the townhouse. 3-bedroom townhouse sold. Because I've got 80, I pocketed 80K. 80,000. I say that's 80,000. 80,000K. Off the townhouse, all right? So I've taken my money. All right, I'll just back it off with the money. So let's go. Okay. So I've just made $80,000 off the townhouse. Sold. And then you just move on to your next deal. The next deal that you do, you move on to your next deal. All right? Yeah. So you've pretty much covered your first house. Okay, this is part 3. This is your first house that you've sold. Over 4 years, sorry. Over 4 years you sold the house. From there, you've made yourself some money. You've made a residual income at 10 grand a month. You're paying yourself 10. You're paying yourself. No one to tell you how to sell places. No one to tell you what to do. You're the boss in your real estate company. If you want to start a huge company, do it. But I prefer to work alone. But I've got people working for me. See? I make sure, number 7, okay? Number 7. Work with, so you're working with, number 7, work with real estate agents. Real estate agents that you can trust. Why do I say that? Because you got to trust who you're working with. You got to work with people. To make the deal, you've got to work with people. You've got to make sure you got a lawyer. All right? Always make sure you have a lawyer on hand. A property lawyer. Always make sure you got a property lawyer, because that covers you when you're selling places. That covers you. You don't have to have a license because you've got a property lawyer who can pretty much take care of you with your contract. You might want to pay, say, $30 off you might want to pay them $30 to do a contract for you. Don't do your own contract because it's just stupid. Okay, I tell you now, don't do your own contract because it's bloody stupid, right? You tell them to do you up a contract, and your contract, it's got information for the people who are using you as a real estate agent, okay? All real estate agents have to come under your contract. You don't sign their contract, they have to sign your contract because you're the one who's got the lease. You're leasing the property with the contract. Because you're giving the agent, the real estate agent that you're trusting, you're giving her the contract. She's trying to give you, don't say, no, you take my contract. Because I'm leasing it, it's my property. This property is now mine. You're not sharing the property because it's yours, because you're leasing it. Not buying it, but leasing it. Thank you very much for joining the live stream. Make sure you like and subscribe to my channel. Like and subscribe. Leave your questions. Any questions you have, leave them in the comment down below. Any questions. No negative questions, please. Just make sure your questions are bang on with what I'm sharing today. It is 5:55. It is 5:55 p.m. today. Today is Friday, the 6th of July. Thank you for joining me in this video. In my next video, I'm going to be showing you how to market yourself. Market yourself out in the market. Because if you don't market yourself in the next video, I talk to you about marketing strategies. Not this video or the next video. In the video after that, I'll be talking about marketing. But in these next videos, I'm going to be showing you different keywords. Not the same keywords because I gave this keywords before. 6 keywords. And the next one, I'm going to give you 7 keywords. Okay? Because we're not going to go off the same keywords I gave you. Because you already got those keywords written down. I've written you the 7th one is work with a real estate agent. Don't buy it. Work with a real estate agent, number 7. And the next part 4 series, in my part 4 series, we're going to be talking how to negotiate prices. Yeah? How to negotiate a lease. So make sure you join us. It is 5:57 p.m. Today is Friday. It's 5:57 p.m. It's 6th of the 21st, 2019. Thank you for joining me on my live stream. Next live stream, we're going to have a website you can go to. All right? And the next website, you, the viewer, is going to learn some important things about the real estate game. Yeah? As I said, make sure you like and subscribe to Grant Cardone. Drop questions with him. If I can't answer the questions, go to Grant. He'll give you some questions too. So I'm doing this on behalf of myself. I'm showing you ways to do it in New Zealand. He's showing you ways to do it if you're in America. Okay? If you're in America, New Zealand prices don't match with America. America's got a different price, so go to Grant. Because Grant will teach you how to do it in America. Whether you live in Florida, Miami, what's the other ones, Grant? Texas, anywhere. Grant covers America, I cover New Zealand. Just don't forget that. So make sure you guys also check out Grant Cardone. He's a good man. I know him personally. Because I've been to a lot of his classes. I've been to a lot of his classes. I've been to a lot of his conferences because he's a good man. Grant's a good man. I haven't met him in person, but he's a good man, and you should listen to him as well. So listen to me and him, because me and him are earning a residual income. I'm at $100 million. I didn't get there overnight. This is not a get-rich scheme, okay? This is if you want to become a real estate agent without a license. I'm not using a license to do it. I burnt my license. I'm not under the fucking government. I'm under my own private company. I'm running Boyd Real Estate, okay? So I'm running under a Boyd Real Estate. That's the name of my company. There's only me working in it. Matthew's also working for my company. He's working for himself now too. He's earning a good income. It's a good income. Stick to the words. Anyway, thanks for watching my live stream. Make sure you like and subscribe to my channel. Make sure you leave some comments down below. Don't comment, actually, no. Leave questions down in the comments below. Leave questions. If you've got questions, I will answer them each time I do a video, each day. Every Friday. Every single Friday, I'm going to do a video. I'm going to do a video every single Friday at 2 o'clock our time. 2 o'clock New Zealand time, not American time. If you're in America, cartoon. Okay, Grant. Go to Uncle Grant. Because he's helping people, I'm helping people. He's helping people, I'm helping people from New Zealand. Grant's coming to Auckland to talk too. Which I'll be going to. I'll be going to that because Grant's a very good speaker. Why am I going to these things? I'm learning more. I'm going to keep learning more. Learn. It's a learning thing for you guys too. You know, it's a learning thing. So make sure you learn it. All right, thank you for watching. It's now 6 o'clock. I've got to go. Matthew said I've run out of time because I talk too much. So next video, part 4. Is it 3? Part 3. Part 4. Part 4. I'm going to be showing you how to do more deals. Right? Thanks for watching. Ka kite a popo. Thank you very much for watching me. Good night.